Well, a lowly tarnished, playing as Lord, I command thee, kneel, for I am the god of all that is golden. Welcome everyone to a very special Modernescapism bonus episode because me and him over there, Oodles,
hello,
are talking about Game of the Century, Elden Ring. If you hadn't guessed.
If you haven't read the actual title.
I mean, some people don't read these days.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So yes, we are talking about Elden Ring because we've talked about it a fair bit on the main pod itself. And we just want to have an hour or two to kind of just gush over it. Or four. This could go on for a long time. So, yeah, if you aren't aware, why are you listening to this? But yes, if you aren't aware, Elden Ring was released in February this year, created by the seminal From Software, directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki. I always get the A's and the I's are wrong in his name. Hidetaka Miyazaki.
He does as well, don't worry.
Yeah, and co-written by George R.R. Martin, to a point. It tells the story of you, the Tarnished, heading your way through the lands between to seek the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord. And I guess this is going to be really unstructured because neither of us are prepared for this one because we're idiots, but we're idiots in the best way possible.
Blame yourself, so you said you were going to prepare.
I know, and I fell asleep.
I'm not taking the rap for this.
You got to share out the embarrassment. Anyway. So I guess we'll start with talking with... so I've done one playthrough of it. I know you've done 11 billion.
Oh.
4. But I guess maybe first playthrough thoughts?
Yeah, first impressions. Let's go. Let's go for it.
So do you want to take us off on that one? Because you have played it the most out of the two of us.
Yeah, okay. First impressions, because unlike yourself, I didn't play any demos or tests or anything like that. Unlike you, as I'm always unprepared, you usually are, and you signed up to this beta test, didn't you?
Well, yeah, you didn't have a PS5 at the time, though, did you?
No, but I could have signed up on PS4.
Yes, you could have, actually.
There's no excuses, I was just unprepared.
Pinch that creaky PS4 back out your son's room.
Yeah, I just didn't plan ahead. So I went pretty blind. I didn't even see the trailer until the week before the game came out. You know, the launch trailer.
Not even the announcement trailer, the one with like Millennia up front and center.
Yes, I saw that one.
Yeah.
That was the concept trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I saw that, and so I'd not really seen any gameplay. I'd seen clips of Gadget bombing around. I saw the Limgrave. The first impressions, like when you get out of the tomb at the beginning, and that's all I got, really. I didn't know what characters you could play. I'd seen that there was a prisoner class, and I picked him because of his face, his ugly mask.
It is a hideous mask. And
I thought, yeah, this is me. So that's what I did. I went in. On my first run-through, I didn't actually design my character that much, 'cause you're putting helmets on most of the time anyway.
Yeah, you did. Your first run's never Fashion Souls, is it?
No, it's just get big things, hit other big things with said big things. Yeah. And I went in and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna kind of mix it up. To be fair, I thought I'm gonna play it hard first time round. I'm gonna be a magic build. Turns out that's easy mode. yeah. We're
in Demon Souls territory with this one, where magic is completely broken in this game.
Yeah, and bear in mind, I played it at launch patch and I beat it at launch patch. So a lot of things are different to they are now. Trust me. And I think I beat it in 10 days, I believe. I didn't start it on day one. I didn't get the game until it came out on the Thursday or Friday.
No, it came out the Friday. I think I remember you saying you got it on the Saturday, but no, you got it on the Saturday, but you were out on the session. So you didn't get to play it till the Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday afternoon, hungover. And my first major impressions was, and this is, here we go, I found it very easy at the beginning. I didn't struggle, but that's because of my prior knowledge. I've played literally every single From Software game apart from one. So, and I'm talking their back catalogue as well. So I kind of get their DNA. I get how they do things. It's all methodical. Even back in the days of Kingsfield, everything was slow and methodical. And
you have to be slow in Kingsfield. Christ, those ones are hard.
Yeah, they are. And I beat all them. So I was getting a bit worried at first. I was like, oh, this is really easy. And I killed the first boss when you're not supposed to.
What, Tree Sentinel?
No.
Or Margit?
No. The when you come in the tutorial area, the spider thing.
Grafted. Shit! That one, the grafted scion.
Yeah, I killed that.
Oh, what? Really?
Yes. I was like, oh.
I mean, I know it's possible, but that's like you've got to abuse the iframes there.
Well, I abused the magic that I had.
Yeah.
So I went in with that, killed that, and you have to die. I thought, oh, here we go. I thought I'd have got some. I did get a nice little weapon that I could use for killing it and a shield.
Yeah.
So already I felt like I was at an advantage. And then I did the tutorial cave, which I read some discourse on that tutorial cave. People didn't know it was a tutorial cave, and then they're moaning that they didn't know how to play the game. There's a tutorial cave.
There is. Well, to be fair, when the game first dropped, and because I remember this also from the network test, they didn't have anything to tell you to drop down there.
Oh, no ghost?
No, there was no ghost. So that came in like the first patch that they put the ghost in to say like because there was a note on the floor. To say
could have been
drop down to gain knowledge or something like that, but then people still kept running past it, so they put the ghost in there with that as dialogue, so you could drop down into it.
Oh, is that probably why it's not even voiced as well?
It's why it's one of the non-voiced ones.
Yeah, wow, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so I went down, did a little tutorial boss in there, one-shotted it, I blocked it and parried it, one shot, I was, oh no, I got a panic. Then you get out of this tutorial area into Limgrave, and that was my first with the controller in my hands view of that, and I was like, whoa. I skipped the guy that you can talk to. Didn't see him. And I saw a guy on a horse. Oh, I'll go talk to this guy on the horse. Dead. Died. I went, here we go. So I resurrected, went at him again, died. And I thought, right, okay, now I get what we're doing. What we're doing. This is Breath of the Wild. Don't wonder, but you don't have to wonder about on this because it's right smack in front of you. Then I saw the guy. He led me with the golden, the trails, and that's
Trail of Grace. Yeah,
Trail of Grace. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, everybody. Even though I've beat it 4 times, and then it started opening. You go to the church. You get the what's it called? The so you can fashion stuff, you can create stuff, the crafting.
Crafting kit, yeah.
I got that, and then the game opened up, and for me, I took my time. 10 days is the longest it's taken me to beat any one of their games. I know you might think, 10 days, are you fucking mad? But yeah, it just swept me up. I couldn't think of anything else. I refused to go out for a drink few days in week, and I was late to the podcast for the first time in my existence, as you well remember.
You were.
I was like, oh, shit.
I have not let you forget.
Oh, shit, this is actually doing something. But yeah, that's when it all, like, it just, I don't know, something clicked, and Sekiro didn't click with me straight away because it was such a departure. I don't think it's fully clicked with you ever, has it?
No, I'm one of those people with Sekiro that when it comes to From Software games, for me, like, I enjoy the build variety, and I enjoy like being able to be methodical and tailor the experience to what I like. I love Sekiro; it's beautiful, but I just can't play it.
It ain't that. It's an action. It's full on.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's the best version of Tenchu that's ever been made
by a massive margin.
But it's one of those things I've just had to admit it's not for me. I got halfway through it. I enjoyed what I played of it, but when you get to the point when to advance, you're having to catch lightning in the air and send it back to them. It's just can't do it.
Yeah, it's like when I remember when I was big into Armored Core, and I was saying it's fantastic. And my mates are going, I can't use the right analog stick to strafe. It just doesn't work with my mind. I'm like, get used to it. But yeah, it's one of those things. But yeah, this clicked big style. But it took a while for me to like know a direction. Because again, I forgot about the grace points, the golden grace, fucking golden streams,
the Trail of Grace.
Trail of Grace, and I got lost quite quickly, and I was batting my head against things that were clearly too big for me. I ended up in Caelid, which is an area you shouldn't be going at under level 50.
It's an area you shouldn't be going to ever.
No, I ended up.
It's a horrible place,
and I thought that was my like way forward, and I got so far in, and turns out the first lord I killed was Radahn.
You psychopath.
That's how I did it, and I was like, oh right, okay. And Radahn at that point, I didn't know I could summon in his boss arena.
Yeah.
So I killed him alone. That's not even a humble brag. That's just me butting my head and not stopping. Because I've got this kind of weird focus.
You also would have made it harder for yourself because you wouldn't have met half the NPCs that you can get.
There's no one there. I had to kill 2 bosses to get to Radahn.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I had to go through the castle properly.
Ooh. So for my first impressions, I played the network test, so I'd already had that experience of coming out of the opening catacomb and seeing.
Did it feel any different? Did it feel a bit more refined?
Functionally, no. Like, the game felt the same. Like, it was already in a pretty advanced state when the network test came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, even though I'd already seen it before, I still got that oh my god feeling when you walk out and you see the Erd tree for the first time, and you see
it's beautiful.
Yeah, you see tree cheating sentinel running around and all that kind of thing. Like, still got the bite of fear from him when I saw him. But yeah, so my first impressions were largely the same. I'd already explored like a good chunk of Limgrave when the network test was out, the area that you got to explore, so you got basically all of West Limgrave.
Oh, did you?
So you could.
Did they put like fake walls there?
Yeah, they put fake walls there. You could go basically from West Limgrave all the way up to in Storm. You can get it in Stormvale Castle, and you know there's a room that you get into where it's dark and there's like a big knight in there.
Yeah, and you get a giggle.
Yeah,
there's a little giggle. Yeah, the door locks on you.
Yeah, that one. It's like a patches thing, I think.
Yeah.
When you in the network test, there was a grafted scion in there. And if you beat that was the end of what you could explore. Basically, like,
no way.
You got the key for the next door, and you'd go up the ladder, and it would say, this is as far as you could go.
Wow, okay. So it's quite a chunk again. That's 30 hours for some people.
Exactly, yeah. So, so I had all the first impressions. I think for me, when I get to go to Mistwoods and then obviously get to Caelid, that's when I really got to, like, see new shit.
And how big it is.
And how big it is. And it's one of those things deceptive, because when you open up the map, obviously the map zooms to what you've got. Like,
it makes you feel like, oh, this is big, but not too big.
So like when I got into the first trap chest in Agiel Lake, and I got sent over to Caelid, like the map zoomed out a bit. I was like, oh shit, this game's massive. And then I got the trap chest that sends you to Lendel. I was like, oh shit, this place is really big. And that's not
Which
even
is probably
as far
the biggest
as you
warp
go.
in the game.
You go further than
It's probably the biggest warp, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you think about, I think it is actually. It's got to be the biggest warp in the game.
Yeah, that is the biggest warp. Unless you want to count the one to Farum Azula.
Oh.
But
let's talk about that yet.
Well, so my first impressions were obviously, like, a lot of the stuff was still the same from the network test, so I was quite happy with that. Like, I was happy with how the network test performed.
You streamed your first play of this, didn't you?
I streamed my first few hours of it when I was playing with my little sorcerer boy, astrologer boy.
That's fucking pressure. That's pressure.
To be fair, it's not pressure because I know I'm going to die a lot in it, but it's because
that's true.
But because it's new for everyone, everyone's dying a lot, you know.
I died a lot.
Yeah, I tried to play the game as close to what I would say was right as possible. So after I'd ended up in Caelid, I thought, nope, I'm too low level for here after I got beaten into a fine mist by those bird dog things.
Yeah, there's obvious meat walls there.
Yeah, so I kind of went.
I just ran past them all.
I went and did Stormvale, and then went up through Liurnia of the Lakes, and then I did Caelid, and then I did Altus, and then Lendel. And
I believe that is probably the critical path.
It's. I think it's the best order because, like, the bottom.
It feels like it.
Like, there's a load of really hard shit in Liurnia, but the bottom end of it feels like a natural progression from Stormvale. Like,
you've got to think of it this way as well. Like, you can't clear. I mean, you can still get to Altus Plateau in a different way, but to get the medallions, you have to go into Caelid. You know what I mean? It seems like this is the critical path, unless you want to climb up the mines, which I believe you did.
I did, just by accident. Like, I had both parts of the seal to unlock the Great Lift.
Do you know they call that in the actual game? They call it the Coward's Path.
Really?
I love that. Yeah.
It was fucking
hard. One
hard.
of the NPCs calls it the Coward's Pass. I thought it's hard as well as a dragon in there.
Yeah, magma worm was unpleasant to fight. And
Coward's
and those fucking singing harpy things that cast poison on you.
Yeah.
Ooh. Anyway, so obviously this game has a story. It has quite the story, in fact.
It's my favourite story they've done.
It is. What I've done, I've done a bit of Googling around, and of all places on Green Man Gaming, I've found the best contraction of the story. Basically, this is the story in under 1,500 words, because it's a long story. I think it's the biggest story they've done.
Yeah.
So we'll just rattle through this quickly, just to remind everyone of the story. So the world of Elden Ring is one filled with magic, miracles, and demigods. The game is set in a place called the Lands Between, where demigods rule over different regions in the wake of wars and events that led to the shattering of the titular Elden Ring. The Elden Ring is a conduit of sorts that is at the centre of the power of the Erd Tree, which blesses the Lands Between with immortality as a result. The world is kept in balance primarily by Queen Marika, one of the most powerful immortals who went on to have a few children who are classed as demigods. Her second husband was a man called Radagon, who was initially with Renala. There are also some hints in the game that Marika and Radagon are literally halves of the same person, but it's hard to know for certain. That is a thing that you see in the last boss. No, I'm sorry.
We sat and watched it.
Because of this legacy of immortals and gods, death is highly unusual, let alone the death of one of the great lords. Despite that, the world was turned on its head when a group discovers the key to ending immortality and descends upon the Lands Between to kill Godwyn the Golden, and the body of Rani the Witch, but not her soul. After this event, the Elden Ring was shattered, seemingly by Radagon, and the world was thrown into chaos. This is because of several things. For starters, some people became unable to see the guiding grace of the Erd Tree because of its weakened power. These beings are known as Tarnished, which is you, and are all seemingly linked to the first Elden Lord Godfrey in some way. We were his army. This also led to other demigods ending up locked in an endless battle with one another, unable to overcome each other, thus throwing the Lands Between into war, and also leading it to be effectively segmented. Because of all this, the residual tension that now reigns over the Lands Between, the Tarnished have been called back with the hope of creating a new Elden Lord, and that's where you come in, as you are one of those Tarnished. Now this is where things get tricky. You can take multiple paths through the game, at least up until a point, and there are also multiple endings. So we're going to be a bit vague here because your playthrough will dictate your own story. However, the general gist of things is that you'll fight and kill a bunch of enemies, including some of these legendary demigods, with the aim being to repair the broken ring. However, no matter which path you choose, you'll find yourself at an impasse with the Erd Tree itself at one point. That means you have to burn it to gain entry in order to actually do this. You don't have to kill all of the demigods at all. In fact, you only need to kill 2 optional ones, then progress through the story to see the ending. But it won't be a good one. There are at least 6 Elden Ring endings. The first 4 of these are dictated by which mending rune you've gone out your way to find. If you've not found one, then you get to reign over a fractured age, which is the standard ending. However, via a few NPC side quests, you can find different mending runes to change the way the ring functions, each of which tweaks the outcome. You can also choose to reject the natural order of things and embrace the 3 fingers instead. This leaves you branded with a bright yellow glowing eyes and also leads you to become the Lord of the Frenzied Flame, which is one hell of a title, but will also doom the Lands Between. But hey, they've been a bit rubbish anyway. And finally, you can follow Rani the Witch to unlock the Age of Stars ending. This is an ending where, rather than embracing the Elden Ring, you choose to overthrow Marika in order to bring the world into a new age. This Age of Stars is the one where everyone is guided by moonlight, and immortality is no more, and souls are free to move on. So yes, that's the basic story to Elden Ring.
Yeah, man.
It is a good story, because FromSoft have got this really horrible habit of doing stories based on cycles. You know, all the Dark Souls games, it was the cycle of the Age of Fire and the Age of Dark and the Age of Light. Bloodborne was the monthly hunt.
The cycle of the hunt,
yeah.
Yes.
Sekiro, to a point, was about a cycle. It was but it was more the cycle of violence.
The cycle of revenge as well. How revenge becomes your main focus, and it can completely keep cycling in your own mind. And father and son and stuff like that. Really
good. And Demon Souls was a cycle as well, because it was the old one had been woken from its slumber, causing chaos again. Soul Arts had returned. You have to put it all back together, and chances are it'll probably happen again at some point.
And the Nexus was a literal ring.
It was. So yeah, this one I'm quite happy with the fact that it is not about a cycle. It is about a fractured world at the end of its tether. Yeah. And you being...
It's a world that's still lived in.
Yes.
Which is rare for From Software.
Yes, although it's not much of a life for most people. But yes, it's still lived in. It's ravaged by war. And you get interesting sights inside. Like, you get, like... you get the Academy of Rai Lucaria fighting against the Carian soldiers who used to fight for them and stuff like that. You get...
Yeah, they're surprisingly close, aren't they?
They're very close. You get Caled fighting with everybody. Yep.
And you get the warring, the Heights versus the Stormvales and stuff like that. You get all that. It seems like it's not the closing days of a war. It's more the aftermath of a war that's happened.
Yeah. And you can see that when especially when you get towards Lendel, the capital, and you get all the defensive positions put up there. I can't tell you the amount of times I was approaching the capital and I got hit by a fucking trebuchet.
Yeah, they're there, mate. They're there.
Yeah. But yeah, I generally like the story. I think it's also FromSoft's most upfront story.
It's clear. It's not. There's no room for much interpretation.
No, there is.
I feel like it's very standard in a good way.
Yeah, unless you find some certain things, like a lot of people seem to be disputing the fact whether Radagon and Marika are the same person or not, or whether they are two sides of the same coin. It's just like,
for me, it's so open.
Oh yeah,
it's so obvious.
It is obvious, and especially if you get that hint in the capital as well, where it literally says Radagon is Marika. I think a lot of people have missed that.
What do you want? What more do you want? It literally tells you. Yeah, it's good. What I do like about the story is it's like they tried it in Dark Souls 2, a faction-based world or continent, and this has the best factions I've seen. You've got your demi-humans, you've got your humans in Limgrave, you've got your Caelid rot people, you've got your dark fiends, you've got your sorcerers in the academy.
I do love the sorcerers in the academy. The design of those like stone masks is incredible.
You've got your dancing people next to the windmills.
Oh, that was proper Midsummer shit.
The nutters. Yeah, and then you've got the actual the King's Guards, the Queen's Guards, and in Lendel, and then you've got like random offshoots. You've got the giants in the mountains. Then you've got the lava mansions, which they're all like rebels.
Yeah.
And then you've got then you've got like the Halig Tree people, which are an ancient race that were there before the Erd Tree popped up. And then you've got the whole underground. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking vast, and the faction system's perfect.
You got the frenzied as well, and like the people who are trying to subvert the Golden Order.
They were the three-fingered, weren't they? Yeah, they're the naughty ones against the two-fingered Golden Order. It is obsessed with fingers.
It is, but I guess fingers.
If you don't like to be fingered, don't. I guess
fingers, rings, that kind of thing.
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Were you just as horrified as I was the first time you encountered the two fingers?
Yeah.
When you got to the top,
it wobbles. It goes.
Well, not even like when you got to their corpse. When you got to the top of Godric's tower.
Well, the first time I saw the fingers was after killing Godric, and then going into Round Table Hold and going where the crone is.
Oh yeah.
There's just two fingers that can sit there breathing. Yep. It's haunting.
Quite awful things, aren't they? And then they start moving. They start moving when they talk to you.
I don't know if you know, because I've not seen many people do this online or say this online. But if you gesture certain gestures to the fingers, they go and they wobble.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's fucking disgusting.
Did you pick up on? I don't know how much of this is true in the lore. I'm waiting for kind of VartyVidya to tell me if I'm right on this one.
We all are.
But did you pick up on the idea that the finger-reading crones might be lying to you?
I found that out when I realised that the crones are all different ones. I thought it was the same woman that could teleport, but turns out they've all got different voice actors. Yeah. And I noticed when they were desperate, I don't think they're lying to you. I just think that was their job, and now their job's not a job anymore. They're just desperate to read fingers.
I
think it's more that than lie. I don't think they're deliberately lying. I just think that's their job, and they can't imagine like at a fairground, someone that reads tea leaves. They don't deep down. They don't believe that.
Yeah,
but it's the job.
Yeah, what was making me think it is that it's primarily the finger reader crone in the round table hole because she's basically your direct connection to the two fingers.
Yes, she pretends that she can hear it talk.
Yeah, and the only thing that twigged me on that she might be lying to me is quite near the end when you basically explain to her you're going to burn the Erd tree. And she's not a fan. Well, she's not a fan, obviously, but then she gets to the point where she just kind of, oh, well, fine, do what you want, kind of thing, and it makes it.
Yeah, I don't mean anything.
Yeah, it made me think that I think she might have been misinterpreting what the fingers have been saying for her benefit.
Yeah, it's the same with Gold Mask. When the guy that follows Gold Mask around,
right? I
don't know if you saw much of Gold Mask.
I've seen Gold Mask once, but the guy who followed him around wasn't with him, so I assume I must have missed the start of his quest line.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a quest. It's a bit of a very long, full game quest, this one. So you follow him around, and he basically follows Gold Mask. And all Gold Mask does is point and stare at the Erd tree.
Yeah.
Now, the guy that's following him, I can't remember his name, the mage, he's following him, and he's part of the Golden Order, and he's saying, oh, look, watch his finger, and his finger moves, Gold Mask's finger moves slightly, and he's, oh, is that what you mean? And by the end of it, the guy that was following Gold Mask saying, I've just been bullshitting. I know this is not real. This is just a madman. But I had no other purpose. It's as if the Golden Order was a facade.
Which
the whole thing is given some purpose.
Well, yeah, and if you follow Ronnie's questline, and we'll get into Ronnie's questline in a little bit, but there is a lot about the idea of breaking up the Golden Order because it is a lot of lies.
Yeah, it's just farce. That's what the Lava Mansion people are doing as well. They're against it. They're killing the Tarnished because it's just a load of bollocks.
Yeah, as are the frenzied as well, aren't they? Because
the frenzied, but the frenzied, I saw the frenzied more as like junkies.
Yeah,
they were like corrupted and they were just obsessed and they were losing their mind literally.
But
and
part of that
they'd seen truths like. Everyone knows that Eldritch Truth makes your mind go crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel it's a bit like that, a bit Bloodborne-y.
Yeah, but part of their primary quest as well is you invading other people.
Yeah, of
course. So you're still going off to murder Tarnished.
And all the frenzied magic is based on, like, it's a PvP type.
Yeah.
Magic, isn't it? So yeah, that tracks. That absolutely tracks. Especially that you haven't done that ending yet, but
no,
my God, it's the hardest ending to get, but it's so worth it. It's my favourite ending, and it's definitely the bad ending.
So yeah, I got the Age of Stars ending, which I was very happy with, because
that was my first ending as well.
Because I think and this is especially just because it's following Ronnie's questline, and Ronnie's questline is my favourite one. I know it's not your favourite one, Oodles, because I think you prefer Fia's quest.
Quite.
Yes, but I've yet to do Fia's quest, so I might change my mind.
You're going to love it.
But yeah.
I'll explain to you in a little bit why it's so good.
But out of all the FromSoft games, I think this is my favourite NPC questline because it feels like a journey. Like most NPC questlines in From Software games have been you encounter people as you move around. Like, if you were to take Solaire or Siegmeyer from Dark Souls 1, they appear in the places you will naturally be going, probably in the order that you're going to do them. Whereas with Ronnie's questline, you are jumping around the map, and it also gets you to do some really big shit. Like you have to beat Starscourge Radahn in it to progress it, and by beating him, I mean you get it anyway, regardless of whether you're doing the quest. But that gives you the access to Nokron, where you get the best Spirit Ash in the game,
and the absolute best hidden area.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You have to. You actually get to know characters, which is a thing Souls games have been really bad with. Like, you spend a lot of time with Blythe. You get to know...
He's the Solaire in this, isn't he?
Yeah, you get to know E.G., you get to know Celavus for your sins. Fucking chode that he is. Very happy when I turned up at the end of his quest and he's dead in his tower. I was like, go on, you deserved that.
The good thing is about Ranni's quest, it leads to a wedding. You marry Ranni.
Yeah, that's what...
You put a ring on her and you are now a concubine and you are
But
you are her husband, her wife.
Like the process of doing that whole quest line takes you to some of the best areas because you get to see Nokron and Nokstella. You have to fight Radahn, which is an epic fight in itself.
Apparently it's better now.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be nice. It was fucking awful.
I never said it was nice. I said it was an epic fight.
Okay.
You get to visit the Lake of Rot, which you would never find if you weren't doing this quest.
I wish I'd never found
It's horrible. I don't want to say it's the worst area in the game, like in terms of like it's a bad area, but it is the worst to be in. It feels toxic just playing it.
It's got some good items down there.
Some good items.
Some good clothes.
It's got some awful enemies because you're fighting basilisks throughout it. There's a boss that you can fight in the Rot Lake if you want.
I did it. I don't know why I did it, but I did.
I haven't. I ain't bothered. But then you get
it's not worth it.
But then you get to one of my favorite boss designs in the game, like boss designs, not necessarily boss fights, but designs when you get Astel of the Natural Born.
Yeah, I do hate that it's not a unique boss.
I know there is a second one up in the snowfield.
I wish it was. It'd have been so special if it was.
But that's like clearly a holdover from Bloodborne.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's so alien. There's three bosses in this that really captivated me, and I may as well talk about them now because Astel's one of them. The second one is the fallen star bull thing.
Oh yeah, seen that
volcano.
Was it full
literally an alien?
Fallen star bull or something like that? What was it called?
Yeah, that is literally an alien that crashed on the Earth.
Full grown falling star beast.
Yeah, that's not from this world.
Yeah.
Same as Astel's not from this world. And then the third one for me, and probably for a lot of people, is the Guardians. Do you know the deers?
Oh yeah, I love the Guardians.
I think they're
beautiful.
They're just beautiful. The music's beautiful and everything about it. It's one of those bosses you don't want to kill.
No, and I was a bit sad with them because I killed. So I only fought the Ancestor Spirit. I didn't fight the Grand Ancestor Spirit or whatever it was called. Yeah, because there is two of them. But when I beat Ancestor Spirit, I beat them first time. I was just like. There was part of me thinking...
Because it's not hard.
No, it's not hard. Part of me was thinking, kind of wish I'd died so I could see that again.
Yeah, man.
So I did put me summon...
It's worth doing it 4 times.
I put me summon sign down for a little bit and got a couple of rune arcs out of it. Yeah, like those fights... I didn't feel the awe for the Falling Star Beast. Cool design.
I just think it's mad that they just blatantly put an alien on top of a mountain.
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
In his own little crater, like he's just stuck up there.
It's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Explains why he's pissed off.
Yeah, of course it does. It doesn't have a fucking head. It's just a crystal beast.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
And there is another one of those because
isn't there?
There's the Fallen Star Beast in Altus.
Yeah,
which is not as hard, but the full grown one is tough. He hits you like a train.
I do. Yeah, we haven't even spoke about it yet. The fact that you've got a horse in this.
Yeah, Torrent.
Obviously, if you're listening to this, you know that. But that is such a game changer. That made me kill a lot of bosses that I would have nowhere near. Like the Erdtree avatars, they are very difficult bosses without a horse.
Yeah, they're difficult bosses in general. I think I got really annoyed with the Erdtree avatars after a while because they're the same fight.
6 of them.
There's 6 of them, and then you've got like there's like the postulating one or something like that, and corrupted one, and you're just like, oh fuck! They all have the same move. They spit something at you, or shower you with electricity. It's just like,
bored of it.
I think they were, they were the weakest part for me.
After the second one, you're like, done with that.
First one was fine.
Done with that Dark Souls boss. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just the Asylum Demon,
it's just
isn't
that guy.
Just a little
Demon
bit
Fire
faster.
Sage. Whatever you want to say, but that's what. But a big thing for me in this game, like you said, Rani's quest, but for me, it's Fear's quest. So,
actually, just to finish the point on Rani's quest, sorry. Once you beat Astel, and you get up onto that plateau in Liurnia that everyone wonders how you get up there.
The only way to get there, literally.
Yeah. And you find the church and you find the cave, and you've basically gone from this grand kind of interstellar adventure, effectively. And you come to this small cave where you've got a dead set of the 2 fingers and Rani's tattered corpse, and you put the ring on her finger, and the corpse disappears. You get a couple of lines from Rani saying she's going to be with her people, and then she gives you the Darkmoon Greatsword,
which is stated in its law that it has been given to the concubine or betrothed of
consort.
Consort, that's it.
Yeah.
So you've married her. It's lovely.
You've married her, and it's lovely. And I like Rani because she seems to be one of the very few genuine good characters in a Souls game.
I thought there was going to be a twist because she lied to you at the beginning anyway.
For the longest time.
She lied to you. She'd give you the wrong name. She tricked you anyway. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, because she was Rella when you first met her, wasn't she?
That's not her. That was a parent sister, wasn't it? Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And it just turns out she just wanted change. She was sick.
Well, when you delve into the lore of the story a bit better, she not only wanted change, she saw through the Golden Order.
Yeah, the farce.
Because the Golden Order is creatures from space. That's why you fight Astal of the Natural Born.
Yeah, they're not from that Earth.
No, that's what the last boss, which we will rant about later, the Elden Beast. He's a creature from space. He's an emissary of the Golden Order.
Erdtree is a seedling that corrupted. And this is where we get on to Fear's quest now. So, Fear's quest. In the round table hold, there's a lovely woman there, little goth chick, and she says, "Do you want a cuddle?" Obviously, I'm going to say yes. Everyone's going to say yes. Takes a bit of your health off. Okay. She does say she's the death's bed kisser or something stupid like that. Death's bed.
Yeah.
I can't remember her thing, but it's deathbed something, isn't it? Deathbed maiden, I don't know, something like that. And after a while, she gives you something to give to someone else. And I forgot what she gives you now. It's is it a dagger?
Yeah.
She says, "This is someone's dagger." And this dagger's a bad dagger. I think they tried to attack someone. I don't know if it's something to do with the Night of the Black Knives, which was a big lore event. But she says, "Oh, do you know anyone whose this dagger is?" And you'll say, "I'll take it to someday." And then D, he's called D, isn't he?
Yeah, it's D. Yeah.
D says, "Oh, it's not mine, but I know whose it is. I'll go take it." You come back, Fear's fucking killed D. She's killed him.
Yeah,
because she thinks it's him. And she's like, "Oh shit, what have I done? I feel bad. I'm going to disappear." You think, "Oh, I'll never see her again." Oh no. She's underground, beneath the root, lower than the roots of the Erdtree. You go through, I don't know if you even got to that area, mate. It's a full open underground area. There's full of ants, and it's...
in Soul River?
No. Wait, I forgot. I think it's like the catacombs or the underground, the underneath or something like that. It's
Deep Root Depths?
Deep Root Depths, that's it. Deep Root
Depths.
No,
I didn't find that area.
So that's a complete new... It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And down there is the remains and the charred corpse of the ancient tree. And you think, what's the ancient tree? And it turns out that was the tree originally that the Erdtree took over. I don't know if it's a parasitic life form or wherever it came from, and sprouted up above it and destroyed what the old world used to be. And Fear's quest is all about that. And it's so beautiful. You've got to fight a champion. And then at the end of it, you get to cuddle her again and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just. I don't want to spoil too much because it's just beautiful, and it's a complete area that I know a lot of people have completely missed.
Yeah, just look at the walkthrough and how to find it. Yeah, you've got to fight the gargoyles in Siofra Aqueduct.
Yeah, that's it. And then you get in there that way. Oh, there's another way you can go through the sewers in the capital and go the long route down that way. It's just
them sewers are a thing.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful quest, but it's very Dark Souls, that quest, and I think that's why I like it more, because it's got so much DNA from the originals. Like, it's such a long quest that, like, I discovered it by accident. I was like, oh my god, she's there. I haven't seen her in 50 hours. Do you know what I mean? Since she killed D and fucked off. And she's so bereft. It's so good. It's so worth doing.
Yeah, I'll probably do Fear's quest on my second.
Yeah, you get by the end of it, you do get an ending, but it's linked to the frenzied ending. If you accidentally trigger the frenzied ending, you cannot untrigger it. As soon as you get to the end and you beat the beast, the frenzied ending will kick in. Unless you do Fear's quest, and she'll heal you from that. So she's got power over that as well. So there's more to it. I've got a feeling, because it doesn't fully end, I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those quests that patch again. Because they're doing that lately. They're adding more to quests, aren't there? They did it to Kenneth Heights. They're adding stuff.
Oh, they did there. Yeah, I need to go back and see what his deal is.
It's way better now.
Yeah, because his deal is like you clear out his castle and then he's kind of bereft and says, I will go and find the next champion.
That was it.
And then he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's a fully fledged quest. It's nowhere near as good as Ranni and Fears and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm like you. I like the quests that send you out on an adventure. Now, Fears is, for my money, probably the absolute polar opposite of Ranni's. Ranni's is all mystical and in a proper adventure. Fears is more like you are uncovering truths. You're going into beneath the depths. You know what I mean? You are uncovering archaeological things, and it tells you what the Rune Knights are, and it tells you why they look completely different. And it's just so beautiful. And you see the desecrated bark of the old ancient tree, and you think, right. And you can see you're that far down. You can just see branches from the roots from the tree, and it's like, oh, right. And it explains its alien nature, because there's a lot of alien to this.
Yeah, there is a surprising amount of it, actually. I didn't... There was part of me that wondered if they were going to do a Bloodborne and like have a big script flipped halfway through, and they didn't,
I thought
thankfully. But there is a lot under the surface that doesn't seem... that you wouldn't expect to be there.
You get a lot of hints to it, but you try and think outside the box sometimes, and sometimes you don't need to. It's right there in your face.
Which is what I was saying before, where it has the most upfront story of a FromSoft game.
Did you know? Go on, sorry.
I would say there are the most cutscenes in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Partially because of its size, because it's enormous, but they front load a lot more story towards the player.
Yeah.
Like, most of it you will still find in the item descriptions.
Yeah, there are a lot of world-building hints to things as well, like I was just about to say. And I don't even think Vartividya's touched on this, or the scholars on YouTube. Some shrines of Marika are shrines of Radagon, and you can't, unless you look properly, you can't tell.
Yeah, I noticed
that. It's mad, isn't it?
It's down to the it's down to whatever's behind her, isn't it? It's like the cross hatching that you get on it from the Elden Ring.
Her symbol is a crucifix, and his is like the cross hatched, like not chains, but you know what I mean, like a fence. And that's mad. That is absolutely crazy. And when you beat Marika's shadow, which is what's his name, deaf guy, the
Malekith.
Yeah, her shadow, because all these gods have got a shadow, basically. They're like number one, and they're always beastie, like Blythe's thing
they're
is.
simp.
Yeah, they're simp, basically. And you beat him, and behind him in his stage, these are like a 12-runed Elden Ring. And nothing gets mentioned. Nothing. I'm like, is that the full one? Because
you unless you go back to the boss room, you only get a glimpse of it because you get teleported away pretty quickly.
It's crazy, and the fact that Marika stole the Rune of Death and stopped everyone from dying, and that's what started everything off. It's like,
But Ranni stole a portion of the Rune of Death, which is what caused a lot of the problems to start.
Yeah.
Because that was how she was able to kill her two fingers using that rune.
And it's mad how, obviously, there's other factions as well and other factors. Like, you've got ultra-secret bosses, like Malenia, which is... She was born of a hermaphrodite creature, Radagon and Marika. So she was born with rot. She was born unwell. She's got no arms, do you know what I mean? She wasn't born complete.
Yeah,
and it's fucking madness.
And her twin brother, Michaela, was purposefully kept as a child.
Yeah.
Like, not allowed to mature into being a god. And
it's
then
beautiful.
Stolen by Moog in a rather...
in an egg.
Moog is the worst.
Yeah.
Moog is the fucking worst.
Yeah. The Fells are... I didn't realise this at first. The Fells are a race, aren't they? I thought it meant like the Fell Omen as in the fallen omen. But no, it's just a Fell. Fell is what they are, like goat critters. And it's just... Yeah, I mean, we're getting off base, but I mean, getting back to the beginning, like, I liked the discourse of everyone talking about Margit being a massive brick wall, and I'd still not met Margit up until... So what did I do? I killed Radahn first, then I I somehow managed to get round the castle into Liurnia and killed
because
Renala.
there's a path there.
Yeah, I killed Renala. And I'm like, where the hell is this Margit? Because I couldn't quite tell how to get into Stormvale Castle, because it's kind of, you go up and then go back on yourself a little bit and go up, don't you?
You do, yeah. Yeah, you basically got to ride up the storm hills.
Yeah, I just completely missed it. And when I got to him, I was like, oh, that's fucking nothing.
Yeah, but imagine getting to a level 20.
No, not at all. And I was thinking, is there I don't know if you can do it, because I've played it that many times. I'm thinking a sequence break in it. Can you get to Morgott and then go to Margit, or will he not be there?
You need to have killed 2 shard bearers, but yeah, you can.
Would he be there when you get back to Stormvale, though?
Yeah.
Even though he's just his shadow. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you can sequence break out of it. He would still be there.
That's crazy. It seems like the thought of everything, haven't they?
They have. It's an incredibly well put together game, and the fact that you can play it in any order is very, very deeply.
I don't know how they
impressive.
did it. I don't know how they did it.
There's only a couple of places that the game actively gates you off from going, so you can't get into Raya Lucaria without finding the spell key, the Glintstone key.
Yep.
And you can't get past the capital without
killing 2 lords.
Without killing 2 lords, but you also have to have killed Morgott.
Right.
Because he seals off the path to get to the Lift of Rold.
Of course he does, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
my word.
Those are the only kind of
critical path.
I mean, because you don't have to kill Renala, so
No.
you don't even have to go to the academy if you don't want to.
Which is,
but you do need
we
to
recommend you
kill
go.
2
It's incredible.
Yeah. But you need to have killed 2 shard bearers and Morgott to get to the ending of the game.
That's crazy. And then obviously there are bosses that you can't avoid, like Fire Giant, Malekith. Yeah.
Yeah, the last 5 bosses of the game are
No choice.
basically in your way.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd say, speaking of bosses, shall we do some top and bottom bosses?
Some analysis on bosses, yeah, let's do it.
Some analysis on bosses. So I'm just going to jump straight into here. Fuck every incarnation of the Tree Sentinel. I fucking hate him.
Especially the one guarding the capital.
Oh, he's
Didn't
the worst.
you poison his ass?
Yeah. Okay. So this is the great thing.
I
So
with
all the added extra movement stuff that FromSoft put into this from Sekiro, you can crouch, you can sneak, you can dance. No, sorry, but you can crouch and sneak. And basically, for field bosses, it's known that you can just skip them if you don't want to. But there are some that are in the way of where you need to be.
Yep.
Draconic Tree Sentinel is one of them. So this is the Tree Sentinel you get from the open of the game, but he's supercharged up. The horse throws fireballs, and when you get him to halfway, he starts casting lightning.
Yeah.
And I hated fighting the Tree Sentinel in the first place. I doubly hated fight. I did kill them, but I doubly hated fighting the double Tree Sentinels you get when you get towards the capital. But this guy sucks.
It was
He
horrendous.
sucks so much.
You couldn't get too far away from him because he had lightning bolted you. You couldn't get too close to him because he just stomped the ground.
If you even got further away from him, he'd fireball you.
Oh, it was awful. What horse can fireball anyone? None. No horse.
I don't know. But so I got around it by maximum cheese engaged.
Yep.
I had to go and grind and spec into enough faith to be able to use incantations.
Wow.
And I got because I was just losing because I was a glass cannon build. I was doing sorceries now.
I was the opposite.
I didn't have a lot of HP.
I had my original sorceries that I started with, like glintstone, whatever, just a really simple home-in thing.
Glintstone pebble.
Pebble, that's it. And vigor up to the 9s, mate. I had big old shield that I won from the Grafted Scion at the beginning. You know what I mean? You couldn't get past my, you know what I mean? I could tank the lightning hits. But imagine if I couldn't. Fuck that.
I couldn't tank any of it. So what I did was I got Poison Mist, and I snuck behind him and just kept casting it on him. And I basically I had
not
to
triggered him, had you?
Because you can get behind him without triggering him, and then you just stand close to him and you just keep casting it.
So good.
And I went through 8 Ashestus. No, Ashestus, that's Dark Souls 3. 8 Cerulean Tears.
Wow.
Because he has something like, I think he has about 15,000 health.
Yeah.
And one cast of Poison Mist will take 1,000 health off him. So I had to hit him 15 times with it. And he does have poison resistance, so you had to basically cast it twice for it to proc onto him. So yeah, it took
like
a lot of it, and it was a lot of patience.
20 minutes.
It was about 10 minutes, but I'm sat there. My hands are sweating, desperately trying not to press a shoulder button.
Yeah, because if you attack him, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to start the whole process again. But it got him dead, and that also worked with Rani's quest with the red version of Blythe that the Golden Order had sent after. You can do, because I struggled with him as well. Again, glass cannon, and he hit really fucking hard and could heal himself. So what I did was so as he was spawning in, like sneak down, run around behind him, because then he turns to look at the path you come from, and I just cast a poison on him.
Wow,
and it worked.
You sneaky demon.
Yeah, but I hated them so much.
Not good, were they?
No, good concept. Like I didn't mind the first Tree Sentinel because he's a really cool thing to walk out into.
He's a warning, I think. It's more of a warning.
Yeah. Like it's the same with the Knights Cavalry. I've killed about 3 of them, and I never really had much fun killing them. I think it was the
trick with the Knights Cavalry, and it seems counterintuitive. Don't fight them on horseback.
No, you get off the horse. You basically try and knock the horse down.
They can barely touch you when you're on the ground.
So yeah. But yeah, I never really had fun fighting them. Conversely, big fun I had every time I fought him. Tibia Mariner.
Yeah.
Boney McBoatface. Fucking love him. Best boy.
The t-shirt
Absolutely. Stupidly hilarious boss idea. Why don't we have a ghostly skeleton in a boat, not necessarily on water?
Yeah, and he can hit
when
you
with
his own boat.
He summons. Yep, he will try and hit you with his own boat, and he will resurrect skeletons. And when you get to Altus, he does a fucking high load Walnir on you and puts in some really big skeletons.
So good, absolutely incredible design, and the music that plays is really good.
Yeah, not a hard fight by any stretch of the imagination, but fun regardless.
No, yeah, absolutely.
You just get on your horse and you just run circles around, whacking him, get out of the way when he lifts his boat out. And it's also just what makes it so funny for me is his wanton disregard for the creatures he summons.
He kills them
so many times. Because I'm like farming souls from it as well, farming runes from it as well, where he's basically slamming down and killing his own skeletons.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, that's an absolute. Because you go towards that when the first time you see him, you go towards like the sunken village, and Dee's outside going, "I won't go down there. It's cursed. It's cursed." I'm like, "Dee, mate, I can do it. I'm the boy. I've just killed Radan. I can do it." And he's like, "I don't do it. Don't do it. It's a tough." And now it was the guy on a boat. I was like, "Yes, let's go." And underneath it is Turtle Temple, isn't it?
It is, yeah. No. Is that? Yeah. No, that's not underneath it. That's
it is, isn't it?
Turtle Temple's up in Liurnia.
No, I meant underneath where you fight the first Mariner. There's a little cave and there's loads of little turtles in there having a fun time.
Oh, I didn't go down there.
Oh, did you not? Oh, yeah. And you open up a thing and you get a chest. Just loads of turtles just chilling.
I was like, because there isn't a word in the in-game vocabulary for turtle, everyone's just leaving signs saying dog.
Dog. It's a dog. Just loads of dogs. Dogs everywhere. I mean, they are tortoises if we're going to be specific, but
yeah,
it's a dog, innit? Shelled dog. But yeah, I think.
What about you?
My least favourite boss was, not thematically, just a fight, was Millennia. And it's optional. I knew I didn't have to do it, but this boy here got the platinum, so I did have to do it.
Have you seen the Broken and More?
No, why? What's wrong with her now?
So on the latest patch, if you're fighting in co-op on her, which is pretty much essential if you want to do the damage output to her, her lifesteal's triggering on iframes.
Give up.
So when you're dodging, she's still healing.
Give up.
Yeah, I think that's a glitch more than anything. I don't think they've deliberately done that because it wasn't mentioned in the patch notes.
Do you want to know my method for killing her before all the patches and stuff? And the only way I could figure out doing it was
it's a swarm of flies, wasn't it? The best way to kill her?
Not for me, because
I'd not casting bleed.
I'd not even found that or knew it existed. I had
So for context for those, if you haven't gotten to Millennia yet, she's the hidden shard bearer. She's at the end of the Halleck tree. I haven't fought her yet. Yeah, I haven't fought her yet, but basically she is. Think of like Lady Maria. She's got Lady Maria's moveset. From Bloodborne, but every time she hits you or you defend a hit, she gains 300 HP back.
Which is a lot.
And one of her attacks is like it's like a multi-hit which hits 12 times or something, which can basically full heal her from halfway down, I think.
And she's got 2 phases.
Yes.
And the first attack on the second phase can one-shot you.
Because it's a big scarlet rot explosion, isn't it?
I had to have the Mimic tier full whack, and I had to take all my clothes off, everything off, so the Mimic didn't do anything other than Frost Stomp. Me and my Mimic Frost Stomp the shit out of her. That's how we killed her.
Hey, whatever works.
Frost Stomp's not good anymore. That's the problem.
True.
But then we were just Frost Stomping, and she couldn't get out of the Frost Stomp. Me and Mimic, me and Cloney were just, and then the second phase happened. She killed Cloney straight away. Just one-shotted him because we had no clothes on. Then it's just me Frost Stomping, running out. I ran out of magic FP, and I just had to go up and slice her a few times. And I did it, and I was crying. I was literally crying. It took me that's the most attempts of a Souls boss I've ever done in my existence. It took me 45 times.
Oof.
But you know what I'm like when I'm focused. I was just constantly. I did a bit on stream as well, and people were watching me, and I was getting really close. And oh god, that's my least favorite boss. And like I said, not thematically, it's incredible.
Yeah,
it's absolutely
and the design
stunning.
of it, I've seen plenty of videos of that fight. Like design wise, it's gorgeous. Like it does give me huge Lady Maria vibes.
Yeah, and when you kill her, she just blooms this flower, and that flower has got a reason for being there as well, which I'm not going to spoil for you because you haven't done it yet. But it's fantastic. It does a thing. It does a cool thing, and I bet a lot of listeners don't know what it is, but it's such a cool thing. And then my probably my most favorite boss is Ricard.
Ricard's fucking hilarious. I love Ricard.
As soon as I walked into, because right, for people that have played Souls, there's a thing that started in Armored Core 2 where you get a Stormbearer blade, which can specific areas. It becomes this super powered storm weapon. Basically, they did it in Demon Souls, which was very famous for that against the Storm Ruler or whatever it was called.
Yeah, Storm Ruler brought it back in Dark Souls 3.
yeah, for the giant.
Yawm.
Yeah, that's it. And it's just been this thing that's existed.
It's sort of in Sekiro as well, because when you fight the dragon in the clouds, you've got the same effect.
Exactly, very near the end. And then in this, I walked into this arena, nothing happened. Because I always, whenever I've seen a boss for the first time, I stop and just watch and just absorb what the area looks like. If anything, nothing moved. And then to my left, I saw a weapon. I picked it up and I went, this is one of those bosses straight away. So I equipped it straight away, pressed R1, this big thing, pressed old R2, big. I went, here we go. And I did it. And ever since then, I've always looked forward to doing it because I love those, not puzzle bosses, they're more like empowerment fantasy bosses.
Yeah, every Souls game has got one or two weird little puzzle bosses or gimmick bosses.
Yeah.
And I like this one. I think this is like the Yawm fight in Dark Souls 3 was fine, but it sucked that you had to kind of run past him, get the weapon, equip and all that. And he could fuck you up on the way to getting the weapon. Yeah. Whereas this one with Ricard, like it's straight there in front of you, and it's because it's hard to get to Ricard anyway. You either have to do all of Tanya's quest, all the Volcano Manor quest, or pick your way through the hardest bit of the Volcano Manor, which is how I did it.
Yeah.
When you get there, it's like,
if you've not unlocked all the map, you can't do the Volcano Manor quest anyway, because you've got to kill, you've got to assassinate people.
Yeah. So it's clearly one of those fights that's put there because it's hard to get to no matter which way you slice it.
Yeah, and it's just like
it feels like it's put there for the Souls veterans to walk in and go, oh yeah,
let's have some fun.
Go. This is us.
This is it.
Yeah,
and the fact that they call the place Lava Mansion, that's such a joke from Iron Fortress. Yeah, Volcano Man. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's such a joke from the Iron Fortress from Dark Souls 2 when people were calling it the Volcano Manor or the Lava Mansion and they just did it. They did it. They put it in. I was like, yes. They listened to it.
Volcano Manor is a fucking spectacular place as well. Awful. So much horrible shit there, but it's fucking spectacular to look at.
They did the perfect thing, which could have changed the whole area. Lava's not that deadly in this game.
No, yeah, they've taken the damage out. It's basically.
Can you remember lava in Dark Souls 3?
Yeah, it was awful. It slowed you down and it beasted you.
Yeah, it was horrendous. Dark Souls 1, not too bad. Dark Souls 3.
I don't know. You still needed that. You still need that ring to run around.
Yeah, you
in
do.
though.
I suppose. Yeah, but 3 was the absolute worst thing that I've ever seen. It was horrendous.
Yeah, but conversely, though, Elden Ring did put in Scarlet Rot in its place, which acts more like lava used to.
Oh, yeah. God, Miyazaki, he loves a poison swamp.
He does. The man. He's a sick man. Any other bosses that you want to talk about? Because I mean, there's 107 in the game.
I like the misbegotten bosses. They reminded me.
I only fought the Leon and Misbegotten.
Oh yeah, the daddy that gives you the Game of Thrones sword. There's
no. I thought that there was another Misbegotten, like one of the cave bosses.
There's one at Thingy Cat, one of the castles, and he's like the daddy one.
Scaly Misbegotten. That's what I thought.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I've got the list of bosses open in front of me.
I think there's a few Misbegottens, but I like them. It gave me Bloodborne vibes. They were fast. They were rapid, like Gascoigne. Other bosses did I like? I liked the little puzzly bosses where it was a snail that was controlling everything.
Oh, I love the snail bosses. They're hilarious.
You just kill a snail, boom, Wizard of Oz moment.
An invisible snail. It's almost like it's like the best version of the witches fight from Bloodborne.
Hemwick.
Because much I love Bloodborne, that witches fight sucks.
Yeah, it's too random.
Whereas this takes the idea and makes it really funny.
Yeah. It's so good. I like some of the.
Where you've got to find the invisible snail while avoiding being hit by the ghostly crucible knight.
Yeah. Oh God. I like some of the Black Knife assassin bosses because did you notice that most of the bosses that you fight, the Black Knife clan, they all had half health as soon as you go in.
I noticed that. Yeah.
And that's because obviously they've already gone through hell.
the only one I didn't manage to kill was Electo.
Electo is tough. What on the jail ones?
Yeah,
because she's an amazing.
I managed
spell.
to get it. Well, yeah, you get Black Knife Tish from her.
Yeah, exactly. Which is some people swear by.
Yeah, a couple of times I nearly got her, but it was just she's got that attack where she jumps up in the air, then does like a big bleed attack, and it's just every time it got me.
And it's already in the snowfield, and the snowfield's not a nice place to be. It's a scary place to be. And snow levels scare me. It reminds me of Dark Souls 2 with the snow DLC. Scary place.
Yeah. At least it's good though this time, because I did not like the whiteout snowfield in Dark Souls 2.
Neither did I.
Worst bit of the DLCs. For me, Godskin Apostle. I love the Godskin Apostle.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Such a stupid design.
I didn't expect the second half.
Nobody did, and I think that's what we worked to. I didn't expect the fight anyway because you're going up the windmill village and it's already creepy as fuck, and then they get to the top, and this guy just walks in, pulls up, and the boss thing appears. Like, oh, okay, I'm in a boss fight.
Has he got a god peeler on him?
Yeah, that's where you get it from.
That's what you get. Yeah.
And, you start fighting him, and then halfway through the fight, he removes his spine and becomes this giant worm.
He's like, because at first he came at me, and I'm like, oh, it's White Darth Maul. He's got a dual lightsaber.
Yeah.
He's coming at me. And then, he just turns into Morph. Just starts wobbling around. It's so good. And you fought a few Godskin tribe and clan, but not to that extent.
The Godskin Peeler is actually a really good weapon. It got me through most of the mid-game until I got the Darkmoon Greatsword.
Fantastic weapon, yeah.
Conversely, I don't like the Godskin Noble. That fat fucker can get fucked.
The roly-poly boy.
Those fights. Aye.
Yeah. Then you fight them both together, don't you?
Yeah. Actually, I didn't mind Godskin Duo so much because I
thought it were quite
put
simple.
my Mimic tier down. It was more just the fact that I didn't like the fact that they shared a health bar and kept resurrecting each other.
Weird. I'd never liked that concept in games anyway.
No, I would have much preferred if they'd done it like Throne Watcher and Throne Defender and they had their own HP bars.
Yeah, same.
I liked, what else? I'm sorry, I'm just looking through the list of bosses I liked. I really liked Royal Knight Loretta in Carrion Manor.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So the ghost version of Loretta, because I know you fight the proper version of her in the Halleck Tree. But as a fight where they're mounted and you can't be, I thought that one was really good.
Another boss I need to Godfrey when he's a ghost. Is it Godfrey? Yeah, Godfrey. I think that was one of the bosses that I had to learn his moves, and it felt so good when I no-hitted him when he didn't hit me once.
I one-shotted him with the Comet Azure laser.
Did you?
Did not work for the proper version of him.
No, because that's the spirit version of it. He just walks slowly towards you, doesn't he?
He does a few jumps, yeah, but he's a bit more predictable, and he's certainly not fucking Horror Lou.
No, he's not.
No.
But yeah, I like a boss where it gives you enough time to learn its moves and you can dodge around. Like, I can kill Father Gascoigne on Bloodborne without getting touched now, because I've done it that many times.
Yeah.
I can see where he's going to go. I think it's easier when he becomes a wolf. Do you know what I mean? You just learn the bosses, don't you? It's such a good feeling. Like, I think in the whole series, only one boss I could fully say I'd probably not be able to do it without getting hit, and that's Ornstein and Smough, because I can't see them. I can't not have the camera on them. So
yeah, no, that's annoying. What other ones I like? I liked Godric the Grafted. I thought his fight was a lot of fun.
Very easy, wasn't it, in comparison to Margit?
I mean, it took me about 10 attempts to get through it, whereas it took me about 15 attempts for Margit.
Do you think it's to do with the fact that by the time you get to him from Margit, you've done a full Legacy dungeon?
Sort of. For me, I had the tactic wrong, so I was basically summoning in for him, trying to basically tank him down. And what I realized, the way I beat him was bringing up my little jellyfish spirit or something.
He doesn't like poison, does
he? Poisoned him.
Yeah, he don't like that.
Poisoned him. Does not like poison. He doesn't like poison. Doesn't like bleeding. Doesn't like scarlet rot. So my little jellyfish is throwing poison at him, and I was using bloody slash weapon ash at the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Ash of War rather, and hitting him with that. And so every 3 hits of that, I would take an extra 1,000 HP off him as well, because he'd get the blood loss. So when I got the tactic right, he was dead easy. But I love the fight because I think there's a lot of great lore behind it. I love the cutscene in the middle. The look on his face when he's cutting his own hand off is so funny.
It's the coolest boss change, in my opinion, that they've ever done.
Yeah, he fucking pulls the head off a dragon.
He puts a dragon
off a dragon and puts it on his arm.
Yeah, it's so cool. I haven't fought that boss that many times though, because I've always killed him.
Skipped.
No, I skipped it first time, obviously, but the consequent playthroughs. Obviously, I run New Game Plus. I got to New Game Plus 4 by the end, and it was just piss easy. But I can imagine fighting him when you're supposed to fight him. It'd be such an intimidating moment, and that were kind of lost on me. It's same with Renala. Renala was so easy, but people saying I don't like a second phase, but I just killed her in 4 or 5 slashes. She was down.
I really love the Renala boss fight.
It's gorgeous. It's Rom the Vacuous Spider, isn't it?
No, it's not even that. For me, it's more that they've perfected the concept of a phalanx fight.
Yes, they have.
Because there's always one phalanx fight in every Souls game where you've got Dark Souls 3 had the priests.
Yep.
Deacons of the Deep. That was it.
Which is a great fight.
Dark Souls 2 had the congregation and
in the church,
Prowl and Magus, which sucked.
Yeah, it was just dull.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Dark Souls 1 didn't actually have a phalanx.
No, but it did have a phalanx character there.
It did. Demon Souls obviously had phalanx.
The phalanx. Tip for that if you're playing that, guys: fire.
Sticky white stuff on your sword.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so I think Renala is the perfect way to do it because
you've mastered that kind of fight with her.
Yeah, and was it just me, or was in the opening bit of the fight when you're in the library? Do you not give you vibes of the Twin Princes from Dark Souls 3 as well?
They're constantly humming and talking, because the Twin Princes were always goading you and talking and stuff like that. And do you know what? I've seen it on YouTube. If you're quick enough and you're New Game Plus enough and you're one-hitting things, you can kill all the kids at once, and she reacts to it. Did you know that?
Yeah.
She mentions something. She's like, "How could you do stuff? These are my pupils," and stuff like that. And then she just summons more, but you wouldn't normally not see that. Why have they put that in? Do you know what I mean?
Obviously, they've got some fucking massive AoE spell that can do that.
It's just so cool. It's just so fucking cool.
And then you get to the second phase, and that's when you get the Rom side of it. When you're in the water, and you've got the huge full moon in the background. It's gorgeous.
She could summon a dragon.
She can summon a dragon and a troll, but
ignore all the summons.
You always ignore them. Yeah, just keep rolling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like Renala. I really liked Moog, Lord of Blood. I didn't like Moog. So you can fight Moog twice. Once in Lendel, and he's got a very basic moveset.
The Lord of Blood version is the canonical. That's him.
Yeah, and that's the proper lore appropriate one. Yeah. You get the creepy fucking weird shit with Miquella in that fight.
Yeah.
But he's just got some really interesting blood attacks and blood fighting, and it's so good.
Did you know, I watched Boundary Break the other day, did you know that the Michaela inside that egg is fully created? There's actually a thing in there and you can see it.
I think the DLC is going to be based around Michaela.
I do, because what Millennia says as well. Millennia is looking for Michaela still.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be.
I think there's supposed to be a place in the Halig tree where Michaela was being like grown effectively from being a child before Moog stole him.
There is. Yeah, you can see where it's been ripped out.
Yeah, so and apparently there's a reading on the subreddit. There's a lot of lore around Michaela. So everyone's assuming that the DLC will be based around Michaela. I think it's going to be, which I'm fine for.
Rani, Ranella, Rani's sister or brother, whatever it was, and Michaela. I think it's going to be that kind of. It's going to be the demigods that we haven't really seen.
Yeah,
and hopefully the Colosseums. Please open the Colosseums. Daddy wants to fight.
Colosseums you can't get into. One of the bosses did I enjoy fighting? So talked about Astel. I absolutely loved the Astel fight.
Yeah, me too.
I liked. Sorry, I'm just reading through the list of them here.
Parphanax or Panax, the big dragon. I don't think you fought that.
Placidusax.
Yeah, that's the one. I love that.
Yeah, I ain't fought him yet, but I've seen his design.
It's the most Swedish, Norwegian death metal looking dragon you've ever seen in your life. It's incredible. The music kicks in. It's not that difficult. It's just got a lot of HP. It's how you do the Unnamed King type fight. They've mastered that now.
I really liked, and I liked the twist. I liked fighting Ofnir.
So did I, and how feeble he is.
Godfrey, rather.
Oh, Godfrey. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Godfrey.
Where the hell am I getting Ofnir from?
I don't know, but I knew exactly what you meant when you said it.
Is Ofnir even a boss in this game?
I know what you meant as soon as you said it, but yeah, the guy that looks like a Nazgul.
Oh, so yeah. Not even that. Sir Gideon Ofnir. That's it.
Oh, right. That's it. It's Gideon Ofnir. Yeah. So, it looks like a Nazgul.
Oh, Godfrey. Yeah. I really enjoyed the lore twist on him.
Yeah.
The fact that he is someone, I saw this on Reddit, someone called him Sir Gideon Ofnir, Lord of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Because he's clear, his full title is Gideon Ofnir, the All-Knowing. It's like, but he doesn't actually know anything.
In this age, he was the closest to becoming an Elden Lord.
Yeah,
some of the lore, that's why he's got all that knowledge.
But he's also absolutely adamant that a Tarnished can't become the Elden Lord.
And look at him.
Shows what he knows.
Look at him with his walking stick and stuff like that. It's like he failed, didn't he? He clearly failed his mission, and he's not happy.
He's failed. He's bitter.
And he adopted.
He helps you to a point.
He adopted Lou. What's her name? Something Lou.
Nephilia.
Is it Ophelia Lou? Because she says she's the daughter
of
Nephili. Nephili. That's it. Yeah. He adopts her. It's as if it's some kind of way of like, I couldn't do it, so maybe you can have a go. That kind of thing.
Yeah, but I love his style. I mean, I two-shotted him. I got him on the second go.
So easy.
It wasn't a hard fight.
He's got some badass magic.
Oh yeah, it's just really nice when I was really like walking up because you fight him in the room where you fought the spirit version of Godfrey, and he's giving you the full baddie monologue. And you'll never become the Elden Lord.
Just back attack him.
Yeah, just walk behind him, stab him in the back, Comet Azure, finish him off. Mint.
I remembered what I did. I did the because I had Moog's blood thing. Blood trident.
Cast bleed on him.
And I just cast bleed, and he just killed him in one go. And he's going, oh no! Oh god, that literally the run up to the end as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that is because you fight. That's like literally like round the corner from starting like the
gauntlet of 3
Godfrey.
Tough bosses.
Yeah, I also really liked Radagon, but I hated Elden Beast.
We enjoyed Radagon, didn't we?
Radagon was a
lot
of fun.
On him, it was perfect.
Yeah. So for people who haven't heard the last week's podcast, Oodles helped me with the end run because, as I said, I'd made a glass cannon character and I would have had to level up about 10 levels in vigor.
It took too long.
Yeah, we spent the afternoon of Good Friday and we blasted through the end of it.
For me, it was a good way to honour people's Jesus Christ.
Yes, but I love the Radagon fight because he's got a really cool moveset. Obviously, the cutscene going into it where you get he's hanging up as Marika, then he drops the ground, he gets up as Radagon.
Because I was quiet and you clicked and you were like, Radagon is Marika. And you're like, "Wow, and there you go. Look at him, like gender neutral."
I love his design as well, where it's like his body is shattered. He is shattered.
The Elden Ring's inside.
And he's got the Elden Ring inside him. Yeah, it's like he's as shattered as the lance between. Like,
and that's to do with the opening cutscene that we haven't even mentioned, where he's trying to fix it. Yeah. He's not all shattered on that opening cutscene, so whatever he's done,
nobody's cracked.
He's cracked. Yeah, so something's happening, and obviously he's got him. This alien.
Yeah, so I really like the fight with that. Like, he's got some really gnarly moves.
Should have been the
boss,
last
interesting
in my
magic.
Opinion.
Well, the thing is, because it's two phases. So you fight Radagon, then you go straight into fighting the Elden Beast.
Yeah,
and the Elden Beast sucks.
It's just dull and too much health.
I think it should have been you fight Radagon and then you fight Marika. Because if they're going to have a character that's significant, be two, that can be male and female, or can be two separate characters, you should fight both. Because this is the one letdown I've got in the lore and the story of this game. You never encounter Marika herself.
No, yeah, it makes you think, did Marika exist, as Radagon always pretended to be a queen? Yeah. But then again, they had babies, so how can they? It's one body that's created these demigods, and nearly all of them are corrupt. Yeah, it's a bit like incestual in a weird way.
Conversely, I would have also been okay with having a Radagon fight, which was a bit more like the Gwyn fight, where it was a weakened, like someone who's been spoken about in legend of like spoken about how powerful they are
to the end,
and you get to them and they're this kind of withered husk.
Yeah, I think
because I always found that more impactful with Gwyn than like fighting Chandra or the what was it? The
Cinder.
Cinder, that's it, the Lord of Cinder.
Yeah.
They were cool fights, but they just weren't as impactful for me.
You always know how they're going to go with their end fights, how the music is, and as soon as you get to Radagon, it's the opening title music,
which is a banger.
It's a fucking. I don't listen to game soundtracks, but I listen to that. When I first got to it, because I did it on my own with obviously my clone, and as soon as I heard that music, I went, "This is not the final boss," because they always like to have a little somber final boss, don't they?
Yeah, the sad thing is that the Elden Beast's music is completely forgettable.
It's dull. It's just like it's like ethereal noises, but not even good. And it's such a loud boss as well when it's doing the actual Elden Ring, because it does that on you. It does it on you
repeatedly.
Yeah. It does the ultimate Elden Ring on you, and it's just a music, a sound, like a OST. You just can't hear it. It's such a loud boss.
What I would have, like I said, what I would have liked is if you fought Radagon and then you fought Marika, and you could have it with when you're fighting Radagon, you've got the opening title music, and then when you're fighting Marika, you have a piano version of the opening title music.
Yes, and make it like a Lady Maria fight, make it like Millennia, but without that stupid gimmick. Make it you versus the Queen, not a Queen Beast, the actual Queen.
Yeah. Yeah, so for those of you who haven't finished, I would hope you would have finished it by the.
Oh my word!
So we're not spoiling this, but you fight Radagon. Radagon is very fast. He casts a lot of holy magic.
He's tall.
He's tall. He's incredibly fast, and he does a lot of AOE stuff. He's aggressive. You have to either be casting some good spells or be as aggressive back, and because he's quite easy to stagger. You can stagger him out of most attacks.
Did you ever play Final Fantasy VIII? Because Miyazaki said he based Radagon's design on Sorceress Adele.
Can see that. Can absolutely see that.
That's exactly what, and it looks like the same fucking character.
When you beat Radagon, you then are immediately transported to the Elden Beast fight. And the Elden Beast is a big ethereal creature. Looks kind of like a fucking
flea
bug with a long neck.
It's like a flea isn't it?
Thing.
An aphid.
It's got it's
space aphid.
As soon as you walk, space aphid. Yeah. You walk into that fight, the first thing it does is cast like a fire breath on you. Then it's got like these holy blasts of light that track you, which are awful.
You've got to run diagonal from them. You remember when we were there, I was going, run, diagonal!
Diagonal, serpentine!
Yeah.
And then it flies up in the air and casts these huge rings that you have to avoid, followed by an explosion. Apparently, the patch that came out yesterday has nerfed a lot of him.
I just want them to take his health down, that's all. He's got too much HP.
Apparently they've lowered his resistances, rather.
I think he's got 50,000 HP or something like that.
No, it's 22,000 HP.
It feels like 50,000 when me and you were doing it.
Well, in co-op, it's 40,000.
Oh, there you go then, yeah.
But apparently he runs away less now.
Oh, that's good. So you're not wasting time jumping over the Elden Rings?
Yeah, or catching up to him.
Oh, God, yeah. I was so slow by that point. I'm coming!
Because that's the other thing. You fight him in a huge arena, and he will move and he will teleport. And a little bit like the Four Kings boss fight, you lose scale because there's nothing in the arena.
You don't know you're up at him either. You don't know you're up in his grill.
Yeah, because you're going on a reflective, watery floor, so it's like you've got nothing even on the ground to give you the sense of direction.
I found out as well the other day, after we'd beat him, he don't like frenzy.
He doesn't like frenzy, no. He doesn't like frostbite either. He's resistant to most other things.
Yeah, so he's against things law thematically that he wouldn't. Like, frenzy makes sense because that's the antithesis of the order.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, Elden Beast was definitely my least favorite fight in the game. I wasn't a fan of Malekith mostly because he was one of those. It's not that he is hard, but he's one of those bosses that he spends so much time in the air, it's hard to get a hit in on him.
And why on earth
even if you're a ranged caster?
A thingy outside his boss arena. That awful.
A cheating tree sensor.
Yeah, I had to kill. I'm sick of this. So I summoned someone to help me kill it.
Yeah, I lasered him.
Oh, God, it's so awful. At least it doesn't respawn.
No, thank God for that. Oh. Like, after I'd killed him and then I died against Malekith, I was praying that he didn't respawn.
Should have had one tree sentinel on the whole game, that first one. This is a warning.
I wouldn't have minded having one tree sentinel and then maybe the draconic one. Like, just a variant of it, but only the one.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about locations now? Because, we've danced around the subject, but basically I want to complain about Farum Azula for quite a while.
Yeah, let's do it. Location, let's just do your top location first, then.
Top location. So I'm in two minds on top location because I really love Siofra River.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Which part though? Not the anti bits. You didn't go in the tunnels, did you?
No. Well, that's Ainsel River.
Oh, that's Ainsel River. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I was confused with them too.
Yeah. No. So I like Siofra River just because of the effect of it. You just don't expect it,
especially if you accidentally go down there first.
Yeah, that's what happened with me. I found the well to get down.
So did I. I was like, nope. Went straight back up.
Yeah. And, by proxy, like Nokron and Nokstella, because they're kind of the same area.
So stunning. I love a galaxy background.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And it just works. The skyboxes in this game are fantastic.
But I think my favourite legacy dungeon was the Academy. I love Raya Lucaria.
Yeah, I felt like it's a proper... Really good.
It felt like Dark Souls design with Bloodborne architecture.
Oh, it's so good. Just Goth Town. I loved it. I liked that leading up to it, you go to the sunken village or whatever it's called, the outskirts, and you can see what the Academy's done to the landscape around it. And I like that Liurnia Lake isn't a lake you can fall into. I'm so glad about that.
Just a big puddle.
It's just a puddle. And I'm so glad about it. Because every time I got to Liurnia, I was like, am I going to fall? I'm constantly looking at the ground. But I don't think there's a place you can fall into. Genuinely.
Not in Liurnia.
There are obviously places you can fall in. The ocean, for one. Yeah, that's a really good the best legacy dungeon for me.
Also, when you look at Liurnia from the outside, it reminds me of Castle Duckula.
Yeah, it absolutely does, yeah. Or how Castlevania looked, the original one.
Yeah.
On like a mountain that it shouldn't be on.
Yeah, it's this improbable castle.
Yeah. I did like the capital a lot. It's tough if you go there too early. It's very tough.
I don't think I explored enough of the capital.
Oh, the subterranean slaughter grounds, or whatever it's called, shunting grounds.
Shunning grounds,
underneath. Yeah. My God. I can't believe there was such a maze underneath, a labyrinth.
Yeah, I only did a little bit of that and then realised like all the enemies were like one-shotting me. I was just like, I won't come back here.
Bigger than you can imagine.
Oh, I know. Oh. I know, like I spent about 3 hours doing just like the opening section of it.
Yeah.
Just unlocking the first shortcut back to the site of grace.
I think I'm with you though. I think Liurnia might actually be my favourite. Just because it's not too big. It's varied. There's some weird stuff like, why don't you get captured by one of those maidens and end up in Lava Town?
That's so stupid that. I love that.
Yeah.
I think as well with like Raya Lucaria, I think it's so dense of things.
Yeah. And the Wolf of
Because, like,
Radigan's
moving around
boss.
inside,
It's a cool boss.
It is, but I hate the run back to it.
Yeah.
Because you've got like 8 wizards to get past.
You can sneak
and
through
if one of them spots you.
Yeah, exactly. And there's
one of them spots you, you're fucking
and there's
lasered.
a pot guy there.
Yeah, there's a pot guy. I liked it, but I liked that, there was so much rooftop playing as well.
Mm.
Like if you wanted to get the imbued sword key, you had to go on a real mission on the rooftops to go and find it.
Yeah.
And then did you end up getting the Azure staff?
Yeah. I finished the game with
that room that it's in is incredible.
It's so good.
You just walk into this room full of crystals.
Yeah. It's just so good. I think my least favourite was I think they had to cut it really because it's barely a Legacy dungeon. But when I first looked at the list of Legacy dungeons, this was counted as one, and I don't think it is anymore. But Redmane Castle, if you do it properly.
Yeah, Redmane Castle is weird because it's like a very large version of the forts that you find.
Yeah, it's just so.
I didn't like Redmane Castle, so I did Redmane Castle twice.
Yeah.
And then obviously I just ended up there via Rani's quest, and it was already cleared out.
It seems like they give you that warp just to skip it because it's crap anyway.
Yeah. Lots of really high level soldiers with like fucking, and you've fought them all before, but now they've got like magical effects on their swords.
Them four-legged beasts.
Oh, I hate those lion wolf beast things, whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah, they're so fast.
And I climbed up on a rooftop once and immediately got killed by a random fucking mad pumpkin head.
Yeah, this is it. It just seems like a proper like, we ain't got time.
Lore-wise, the place doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we ain't got time. We've just got to do this. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like to me. And there's all that festival thing that doesn't accrue to much. There's the guy that runs the guy that runs the festival. He has got a bit of a tail afterwards, but it doesn't really accrue
not
too
much to it.
Yeah, it doesn't get.
It's a little bit half baked, that one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but then the real offender when it comes to Legacy Dungeons, the one we both agree on, and that's Farum Azula.
I hated it.
I
love the design of it.
It looks stunning.
It's a gorgeous area.
And the fact that it's got the time stopping and there's a vortex in the middle of it, and it's the land where time forgot, and it's Dragon City. It's just crap and difficult.
It's
unnecessary.
Far too many over the top dangerous enemies.
Yeah.
You got those the banished soldiers in there, which are so overpowered.
They don't stagger. You can't stagger them.
You can't stagger them. You can't poison them. They're practically immune to fire attacks. Their magic is
faster than what the rules of the game imply.
They have such high resistance. Like I did a test on them, and I used the Wondrous Physic and the Comet Azure boss killer laser.
Yeah.
And I killed one of them.
This is what I'm saying. Like I got to the point where my absolute strongest, it was new game +3, and like at this point I was level 500 and odd, so I was one-shotting bosses. Like I two-shotted Godfrey Ghost, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Spirit. Two-shot that. You know what I mean? That's a high, quite a bit. So even when I got to Farum Azula, it's still really fucking tough. And the bosses aren't the toughest part of it. That's what's annoying. I mean, the bosses are supposed to be the wall. The bosses are supposed to be the place where it makes you go back and grind a bit and get better. Do you know what I mean? But it's the actual... I don't know. It's the gank squads of the little guys with the scimitars and stuff.
Yeah.
There's too much platforming it's just...
Beefed up skeletons.
Yeah, it's just too much platforming, for my opinion, in a game that's not very good at platforming unless you're on a horse. There's so much going against it for my liking.
They throw a random Crucible Knight in there just to fuck your day up right before a Sight of Grace.
Yeah, there's no need in it. Even the dragon that comes down near the beginning of it, that's not a difficult dragon. But everything else surrounding it is.
The dragon itself isn't difficult, but he's in a difficult area because you can't have your horse. You've got the risk of falling off. You've got a lot of terrain that stops you rolling properly.
It reminds me of Dragon Peak Ruins, or whatever it was called, in Dark Souls 3. The secret area on that. Where stunning, incredible, love the lore, terrible. Terrible to play.
I think I would have less hatred for it if it was an optional area, like the Dragon Peak in DS3.
Yeah, and Haligtree in this. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me the Hallig Tree as a mandatory dungeon and put this as the optional one.
Way better legacy dungeon. It's leagues better. It's more varied, it's more fun. You've got your bubble guys, your marshmallow boys. Love them.
I love them. They're adorable.
Love them. They're all over that place.
Look at them with their little trumpets.
Yeah, exactly. It's difficult, but it's not overly difficult. It's not annoying. This is. Yeah. I hate Farum Azula. It's I've completed the game 4 times now, and I don't include the one when I beat the boss with you, because that would be 5. But it's every time I've led up to that point, and I've killed the fire giant, which people don't like because it's a bit of a wall for some people, but I don't dislike the fire giant at all. Yeah, I think it's
fire
nice.
Giant's all right.
I think it's a nice boss.
Fire giant is one that's more intimidating than he actually is.
Just get his leg, and when you
avoid his dodge roll.
I'm warped to there, and the second time I thought, is there a way I don't have to do this? Do I have to agree to do this? is this an option? Because it feels like an option, doesn't it? But no, it's not an option. That's it.
Oh, because you have to beat Malekith.
Yeah, it brings the game down to a 9.99 rather than a 10, that dungeon.
Yeah, I really don't like it.
Trust me, when you get to it again, I bet you'll put, because you'll play through the game again, you'll love it, you'll enjoy everything. You get to that and you'll probably put pad down for a few days.
Probably.
Because it just drains me, man. It drains me.
There is some stuff in it I do like. I don't want to say like it's a complete like write-off.
It's stunning.
I like the design of it. I think there is the one bit of the game I think where eagles are involved that works.
Yes.
Which is that run up to that dragon that's attacking. Yeah. I like that gauntlet because you have to deal with the eagles, but they're not the ones that can fucking cast fire on you.
Yeah. I like that, and I like the dragon boss in that. Like I've already said, I think it's one of my favorite bosses in the game, but I've got to go through that to get to him. Bastards.
Yeah, like I like. There's a couple of like really nice. They are gank rooms, but I think they're fun. There's one just after that injured dragon that you have to fight in the eagles. There's like 3 guys hidden behind pillars, and I think that one's a little bit fun.
Also, it doesn't explain how.
Go on,
sorry.
I don't like that is right after that dragon bit and right before the next Site of Grace because you're low on resources by that point.
It doesn't explain why Alexander's there either.
No, I think they just stuck him there to have an ending for his area.
How did he get there? Did he kill the fire giant? We just got warped there, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, he did kill the fire giant for me because he helped me in my game because he's a very good tank.
Oh, he is actually there, isn't he, in that boss?
Yeah, he is. You have to go in the north.
That's how he got there. Then I've just answered my own question. At least he did it. At least he did it. He got to the cauldron. Yeah, that makes sense. Though. Yeah. That's it's added a point now for that. That's fine. I'm happy with that. But yeah, I know I've seen loads of people on Twitter, loads of people in our Discord love Farum Azula, and I feel like there's something wrong with me. I'm glad that you agree with me.
No, I really didn't like it. Like, it wouldn't take much for me to like it.
Yeah,
I think it would need like maybe a slightly lower density of enemies.
Yeah,
still have hard enemies in there. Maybe just a couple less Banished Knights. Fuck them guys. I don't
get them. They're so tough. They're so difficult.
And I think they also need to sort out Malekith. He definitely needs a nerf.
Not the first round. The first round's fine, isn't it?
The Beast Clergyman's fine because he's just chucking rocks and using his knife. But it's when he starts casting that damage over time attack.
It's weird, like, because I'd done the Beast's the Death Rots quest, because that's him, isn't it? Where you give the Death Rot. And he's like, oh, you'll be my friend forever, you. Then he wants to kill me.
Yeah, I did that as well, and I kind of feel like they've scuppered the law slightly.
Yeah, it should have been a different person, in my opinion.
Or it should just be Malekith from the start. It didn't need to be the Beast Clergyman.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I get why he's interested in death because he's got the
death rune.
Destined death on his wrist.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I really didn't like Farum Azula. I think, Riley Cara is my favorite legacy dungeon. I do really like Stormville. It feels like a proper classic Souls level.
It feels like, do you know what it feels like to me? And you'll agree with me. It's Demon Souls.
Yeah, it's just Boletaria all the way through.
It's about
as long as it's about as long as the whole is Boletaria as well.
Oh, mate, from the beginning of the game to the end of Stormville, that's about as long as Demon Souls. That whole bit. Demon Souls is not a long game. You can beat it in 5 hours without rushing.
True, yeah. It's I mean,
it was the proof of concept, wasn't it?
Yeah, Elden Ring is a staggering achievement.
Oh, massively.
It's such a good game.
Massively.
Is there anything else you want to bring up? Because we've been talking about this now for a little while, but I mean, I can still talk about this game endlessly.
I think we haven't really talked about his favourite builds, stuff like that, and his favourite weapons, the actual gameplay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can talk about that.
We've done the lore, we've done his bosses, we've done the end, but we haven't done his gameplay bits.
So, yeah, that's a very good point. So, obviously, gameplay is expanded now. You've got some of the Sekiro movement in there, and you've got Torrent, your horsey boy.
And you know what? And no one's talked about this. Weapons don't break.
They don't.
Which is fucking perfect.
I saw an interesting reason why Torrent might be called Torrent.
Oh, go on.
So, if you Google Elden Ring Torrent, you get the lore page. You don't get a fucking Pirate Bay page.
Fantastic.
I don't know if that's actually the case, but I just thought that was really funny.
I hope so. I hope that's why they did it. We need to find out what it's called in Japan, don't we?
Yeah. But yeah, so you got Torrent, so he's your best boy, gives you mounted combat, he's got a double jump, which is just adorable. He just casts his own little kind of extra platform.
Can you remember in the original concept of this game? He had 6 legs like Odin's horse.
Yeah, he did.
Took it out of him, didn't he? And took his legs off.
Yeah, I think probably for the better.
Yeah, because it had just been flippity-floppity legs everywhere.
Yeah. Much to both of our excitement, they brought back power stancing from Dark Souls 2, where if you have 2 of the same class of weapon held on, you can get bonus animations.
Which is by far
bonus attacks.
The greatest thing about Dark Souls 2.
Oh, yes.
By far.
But I'm a big Dark Souls 2 defender. I do love Dark Souls 2.
I love Dark Souls. I love all my children.
Yeah. They've obviously got a wide range of magic things, and the game is definitely built for you to have some kind of magical capability.
That's why they don't call it MP anymore.
It's FP, focus points. So you now have sorceries, and previous games you had pyromancies, which are now incantations. Yep. You also have faith spells as well, depending on which holy line you want to follow.
Arcane spells as well.
Yeah, arcane spells if you want to be a heretic and you want to do blood-based stuff.
You want to go against the 2 fingers and stuff like that.
Yes. So, yeah, you have... And there are a lot of spells in this game.
Speaking of arcane, they've only just fixed that, you know.
Yeah. So my build that I went through the game with, I said before, was a bit of a glass cannon. So he had a decent amount of HP, but just kind of not enough for the end game.
Not enough.
But I'd originally started going through on a strength dex build, so like a quality build.
I haven't done that in years.
That's what I normally do a first playthrough on, because I like a sword and a shield.
That makes sense.
And then I realised kind of when I was getting towards the end of Ryle Lucaria, that it kind of wasn't that viable because I needed range.
Yeah.
So I ended up pivoting slightly towards int as well. So I started using sorceries. Yeah. And obviously when you beat Renala, you can respec. So I respec around, started casting. I originally I was really focused on using like Carrion Phalanx and stuff like that, just like having like Glint Blade Phalanx.
Yeah, of course.
Just to have a little bit of defensive option if people came close. Yeah. And then realised how good Carrion Blade? Carrion Slicer, that's it. How good that was at staggering enemies.
It uses very little FP and it's fast.
It's fast and it's powerful as all fuck. Yeah. Like it staggers enemies really quick. And I just kept piling points into int, and then I started Rani's quest line. I looked at the rewards for it. I was like, Darkmoon Greatsword.
Oh, did you?
Moonlight Greatsword.
Mate, that was a surprise to me. I was screaming. Oh, it was such a good moment.
But there was that, and then also find out you get like Rani's Dark Moon, which is an amazing spell.
Which, do you know what? You're the first person that I've seen it actually in person, because I've never used it. And when I was playing with you, I was like, whoa. I didn't realise what it did.
You cast a giant frost moon.
Yeah, even though I've got enough intelligence, I'm at 99 intelligence now. I could use it, but I just never have. I was like, whoa. So I'll tell you about my build in a second.
Well, when I was heading towards the end game, so I ended up using the Darkmoon Greatsword for basically till the end of the game. And then I had my boss deleting laser, which was Comet Azure, which is one of the highest value free spells that you can get. You don't actually have to buy it, you just get given it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
If your intelligence is high enough. And then you combine that with the hidden cerulean tear, which you get from a tree spirit in near the volcano manor, which gives you infinite FP usage for like 15 seconds. Yeah. So I could basically
it used to be 30 seconds.
Fucking hell.
Basically,
I used to be able to get 17 or 18 seconds worth of just pure unadulterated magic blast.
Which is Kamehameha from Dragon Ball Z, basically.
Yes, and I mean, I've got video evidence of me nuking a couple of bosses, like Commander Nile. I managed to get him in literally one shot. Just walk through the boss fog, cast it as he started casting his buddies, and just killed him in one shot. It was the perfect amount. It was so good.
Yes.
And then the other one I had was Stars of Ruin, which is a really good spell that it sends out 15 little magic missiles that track, and they track really well. Like I've not encountered an enemy builder. I've not encountered an enemy that can dodge all the way out of that.
No, not a chance.
Like they'll dodge a couple of them.
Yeah.
Like even when I've been invaded, that one like ruins invaded.
It's great for aggro. It's used massively in PvP to the point where if you see someone trying to cast it, you've got to go and slaughter them quick. So yeah, it's a big one that.
So yeah, I am very, I was very, very happy with that build. Granted, like I say, I was a bit of a glass cannon for the end. I needed a lot more vigor, but I was at the point where it was costing like 120,000 runes.
You had a great friend to help. That was your vigor.
I had a great friend.
Yeah.
What's your favourite build? Because I know you've hit most of them.
I've done them all now, and my favourite build is my second build I did. The first build was very sword and board. You know, the original tank. Thomas the Tank Engine build, I like to call it. My second build was the Blood Mystic, affectionately called, where you've got to go quite far in the game to become a really exceptional Blood Mystic. You have to basically be a bit of a astrologer for a little bit, and then forget about your intelligence for a while and put Arcane up. It wasn't viable until the patched Arcane to make it actually work. It didn't used to work. Nothing scaled with Arcane in the original patch. They just completely missed it out.
Oh no, dear.
Yeah, and then I use. So basically, what it is you kill Moog, Lord of Blood, you get his trident, so you can do the little blood dance, the blood rain dance thing. Which, if you can tank a boss, so you have to have good vigor. If you can tank a boss, it won't break your poise, and you will just constantly with the physic, you'll constantly just bleed them to death. And then it became later on in the game where the bosses are either too big or they're too fast. I did what you saw in action, which is the glintstone shield, which basically you put this crazy...
Which I think they nerfed in this patch.
I think they have, yeah, which fucking thank God we used it then. Which basically, you can apply it to any leather-bound shield, I think, or any that's not metal. You can put an Ash of War that basically deflects any magic coming your way.
Scarring Retaliation.
Yeah. So if you use a glintstone shard, is it shard or scrap?
Yeah,
scrap. Glintstone scrap on you. You'll normally fire 3 little glintstone missiles, the homing missiles at them. If you parry them quick enough, it triples or quadruples or something like that. The mass goes mental, and it turns them into homing soul lasers things from I think it was Dark Souls 2 originally when I first saw those. Yeah. And you saw it, didn't you?
For context, in the Radagon fight, Oodles would drop that down while I was getting set up for attacking with Arani's Great Moon. He would do that parry thing, and it would hit Radagon for 3,700 and something on the one hit.
Bear in mind, I went down from level 500 to whatever level Gadget was, and I was
like 151. I think.
And it was still absolutely ripped. Like I could have killed Radagon in 4 hits.
Yeah,
but it's such an awkward spell to use because there's so many key movements you have to do. You have to kind of claw the pad a little bit. The dual sense, you've got to give it a little bit of a crab claw to do it. So sometimes I weren't hitting that parry quick enough, and you heard me audibly go, "Fuck, missed it." Like it's such a gamble, but it's so powerful. But then the blood backs it up, and then I also had my my crystal sword and my rot sword, dual-handed, power stance into fuck. And it's just, the blood mystics are very. I don't know what it's like now because the patches are so thick and fast at the moment. I really don't know because I remember the sword of, is it Ice and Flame or something like that? That used to be the number one.
Sort of Night and Storm or
something like that. That was the number one thing because it went with intelligence and faith or something stupid like that. And it just became a powerhouse.
You could pair it with Comet Azure or something like that and do like Death Laser with it.
Yeah, and they got rid of that. Then they got rid of the Rivers of Blood. That used to be super powerful. And now they've got rid of my Parashield.
Yeah, and they've nerfed down Swarm of Flies, which apparently was the top tactic for millennia.
That was a boss chomper, yeah, because you didn't have to be nowhere near her. And the Ice Stomp, the Frost Stomp, which was good, but I think my next run through is not going to be for a good few weeks, maybe a month or so. But I'm going to go full incantation build, I think. I want to be grossly incandescent.
Oh, lovely.
Let's see if we can do that.
So for me, I'll go back to the game in a few weeks once I've finished Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I'll carry on with the character I've got. I'll level up his vigor, and I'll go
really enjoy New Game Plus 2.
Well, I'm going to go and do the Halig Tree.
I
basically want to do as much as I can in New Game before I move to New Game Plus.
Yeah. Halig Tree, I think you'll like the dungeon. It's just millennia. I might have to come in again on that one.
I'm sure you'd like Revenge on it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I want to at the very least get the Halig Tree done. I don't know if I'll get everything else done, and then I'll go into New Game Plus. I basically just want to go and batter Margit upside down because I'll be over leveled.
Yeah,
in
New Game
anyway.
Plus, go do the Fear quest instead of Rani.
Yeah,
see the other side.
I also want to start a new character.
Ooh, from scratch.
And I want to do from scratch, and I want to do an arcane blood build kind of thing, but I want to do the Frenzied Flames plotline.
Oh, it's like I say, it's a fantastic ending, but it's really difficult to achieve because you've got to go down into subterranean shunting grounds, and it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, I know. So, but for that one, that'll be a open book one. Like I'll have the fucking wiki open and just guiding me through it.
Yeah. We've all done them.
I'm not worried about. There's not much in the game I haven't seen yet at this point.
Yeah.
And
if dear listener, if you're thinking about builds and stuff like that, Gadget will probably agree with me. Don't focus too hard on a massive plan because you'll probably have to adjust it anyway.
Yeah, but do focus on vigor.
Vigor, no. I think this is the most vigor happy game they've ever had. Like for me, it used to be stamina on the older games. You need more stamina than anything.
Stamina was the big thing.
But this is vigor because you can run for fucking ages.
I complained on the subreddit about Horror Lou one-shotting me. And like post a video on it, and people go, "Well, you should have leveled up vigor." And I say, "Oh, why are people allergic to leveling up vigor?" And I'm pointing out, "I've played every other Souls game. You never
did anything.
Level of vitality or vigor."
No one did it.
Did a whole playthrough of Dark Souls 2 without leveling up my health once. I just did strength, adaptability, and.
We were all warned not to. It was against everything we know.
Yeah, you don't need HP, you need to roll. You need to tank shields. But no, in this game, you fucking need health.
Yeah, you really do. These are some absolute mega bosses. But yeah, I've done my checklist and I have beat every single boss that exists in the game thus far.
In one game or just
across multiple games? No, never in one. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm sure you'll try that run at some point.
I think I could do that. It'd have to be like a charity stream or something like that, something to make me want to do it. Do you know what I mean? Something.
I think at some point you'll get bored enough and you'll do it from just new game, like you won't do it on a new game.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And next time I play it, I'm starting from scratch because I like the fashion souls in this, and I don't want to have all the options on me straight away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, just looking at the list of bosses here, I mean, I think I got about 50% of them.
Yeah.
Like I didn't fight any of the crystalline enemies at all. I didn't fight Bell-Bearing Hunter or Clean Rot Knight. I only got 2 of the 4 Deathrite birds.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I found the third one, but I found him at the mountaintop, and I was not in the mood to fight him, so I just ran away.
Yeah.
I do like that, though, if like a boss appears and just like, oh, fuck you, no, I can't be bothered. I only fought a handful of dragons because I didn't find the dragons fun to fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like the one on the lake at the beginning.
Yeah,
with the men screaming at it. I love that.
That one I did fight. I fought the what? What else did I fight? I fought the one in Liurnia, which is hiding the Glintstone Key.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
I know you can sneak behind it.
I don't like the dragons when they just become enemies on the map, which is Caelid.
Yeah.
There's no need. 3 dragons at once.
There's still 2 boss ones in Caelid.
Yeah, and then there's the law with the big sleeping dragon is weird.
Well, he's full of scarlet rot, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's dying.
He's dying, but if you kill him, all the other dragons die around him, and you get 75,000 runes.
Good starting point, though.
Yeah, it's just weird that it exists. I want a bit more on that. But yeah, if you're playing this still, don't forget to do the towers, because I forgot a lot of the times to do the towers.
Yeah, there's only one tower that I need to unlock that I haven't, which is the one for Morgoth's rune. No,
you won't have done Millennia's tower either.
Well, yeah, but I haven't fought it yet.
Yeah, that's true. You still get there, but nothing happens.
No, so I've done the one for Morgoth's rune. It's Mohg's one in the west of.
I think 2 of the towers do 2 runes. I think so. I think that's how it works.
Well, in fact, I'm gonna look it up. Great towers.
Yeah, for people that don't know, the circle, basically the coast in the centre of the map. You can't miss them. There's one in the middle of the ocean as well that you have to walk to.
Sorry, Divine Tower.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's the one I haven't done.
Yeah, I think that's the one with Millennia's rune has to be done in the middle of the ocean.
No, sorry, I haven't done the one for Rickard's Great Rune, so I haven't done the West Atlas one.
One. Yeah, you just go the other way. Yeah, that's not that. It's guarded by
that's
by a boss.
That's the one that's hidden off the side of Lendel.
Yes, it is.
So I don't know how to access it. Apparently, it's got a hidden entrance.
It has. You'll find it. You'll find it. Trust me. There's a cave.
I'm sure
There's a cave down
there. Hidden can only be found by going through a series of illusory walls and defeat Onyx Lord in the sealed tunnel.
Yeah, the Onyx Lord it's the same thing as that. Do you know what the first crystal tunnel you go in is? That crystal giant. It's one of them.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think it is actually. I think it's a smaller version of that. I think it's like it's like a smaller black knife assassin, but it's crystal. It's not difficult.
Yeah, it's a crystalline enemy.
Yeah, it's not difficult. But yeah, the game's fucking good, guys. You've got this far. You've got nearly 2 hours in listening to us ramble about a game without any cohesiveness. We just love it.
Yeah, we do. And it's, I mean, like I said before, it is my game of all time now.
It's up there for me. It's top 5, I think,
previously, Bloodborne was my game of all time.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
And this has now knocked it into second place. Like, I still adore Bloodborne, but there's some stuff in Bloodborne I really don't like.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Whereas the stuff I don't like is massively outnumbered by the stuff I love.
Absolutely. I wish you could skip Farum Azula, though. I really wish. That's my one wish.
Yeah, I think the ending hours let it down.
Yeah, to the point where you were absolutely loving it, and you're just like, mate, come and help me. I can't be bothered. It's not nice. That's not a nice feeling, though, is it? On your favourite game, it's like, oh.
Yeah. I will say, by the time I got to the end of it, I didn't feel like it had outworn its welcome, but I was getting that way.
Yeah, and you don't want to get that way. That's the problem.
No, which is why I've taken a break before doing the Halig Tree, because I know the Halig Tree will take us 10 hours or so.
Yeah, I'd say it's about 10-15 hour area if you pace it.
I'm fine with that, and I do need to investigate the consecrated snowgrounds, because basically I ran through it just to get
all the depths.
Yeah, I just ran through it to get the map piece so I could have the complete map.
Some good bosses there. Yeah,
I'm sure there is, but like I say, I just couldn't be bothered with it at the time. So, but it hasn't put me off. Like I do want to go back and do it.
Yeah. Before we end this little spoiler ranty cast, then what would you want from the next DLC? Because they're definitely going to do it because it's sold like hotcakes. What do you want? What's your ultimate DLC?
So my ultimate DLC is I would like another legacy dungeon at least one legacy dungeon.
Yeah.
But based on how FromSoft have done their DLCs in the past, it has the potential to be 2 or 3 levels.
It does, doesn't it?
Like, you got the Old Hunters DLC in Bloodborne, and that was 25 hours of game.
yeah, especially if you're underleveled.
Or like the Ring City DLC in Dark Souls 3
which is better than the Painted
well.
World one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Painted World one was a bit too small for the money. But anyway, so I think I'd like a new map area, not some fucking floating in the middle of the sky Farum Azula bullshit.
No.
But like if you look at the map, because the map it kind of curls around on itself like a finger, like a U shape. Yep. You've got some area to the east of Caelid. You could put something there.
Absolutely, of course you could. Yeah. For me, go on. Sorry, carry on.
I'd like a legacy dungeon, another underground area, and if it's going to deal with Mikella, that would make sense to have an underground area. Maybe
hidden.
Break Mikella. Yeah, maybe break Mikella out of Mogwin or something like that.
Yeah, I'm into that.
I'd like them to open up the arenas so that you can have some fights.
That's exactly what I want.
If you want to do multiplayer.
That's exactly what I want. I need fight clubs. Not unofficial ones on beaches. Naked ones.
And I'd like maybe like 10 bosses, I think. 10 bosses would be a good amount for that size of area.
Not palette swaps.
Not palette swaps.
No.
Maybe one palette swap if it's done in a cool way.
Yeah.
But majority new bosses.
I'll take a red dragon over a black one. Yeah,
less dragons though.
For me, and then this is how I'd plan it. I'd call it the 3 arenas or something like that, because there's 3 colosseums that you can't enter in this whole game, and they are fully mapped as well with the boundary break. You can see them inside and stuff like that. They are completely. I'd like the three DLCs that in my head they're going to release. 3 of them, like Dark Souls 2. First one, you fight, you go to the arena, you fight, you prove your worth. It sends you somewhere, maybe underground, maybe something like that. And that's what I want them arenas to be. The last one's near the capital, that arena, you fight.
There's one in Caelid. Where's the third one?
It's Limgrave.
There's one in Limgrave?
Yeah, near Castle Stormvale. Yeah. Under the viaduct.
Oh, yeah, so there is.
Yeah. And I'd like... The final one, you become champion of champions or whatever, and then it sends you to, like, because you're the champion of champions, go to space and kill the aliens.
Earth space.
Yeah, warp to space. But I just want them arenas not to be just hollow nothings.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah,
sense.
I think
that's the one thing that doesn't make sense to me. I'm so bad trying to get in.
Yeah,
there's one arena where there's a pot stood outside, just guarding it.
Yeah, that's the one in Caelid, isn't it?
Yeah, he's guarding it.
That one in Caelid annoyed me because the amount of effort you go through to actually get there.
To kill them
you can't
things.
Jump down from above.
He makes you kill 3. You can
three giants, isn't it?
No. So you kill them giants, and then you get to behind the pot. If you do the on the floor, there's 3 separate duels. Do you know where you duel against the computer? And you summon 3 of them, and you get a special prize. But he doesn't let you in. He doesn't move. He doesn't do anything.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah. You go through all that hell, killing 3 really tough summons, and nothing. You get a nice item. You know what I mean? You get a really good item from it, but nothing else to it.
Yeah. I think if another well-designed legacy dungeon with some really cool visuals. A couple of really interesting boss fights, a couple of like good boss fights, nice little underground area extension because I do like the underground areas.
I do a lot.
And so and something maybe a bit more lore on the Golden Order or
when did they start? Why did they come? What's their mission?
Yeah, why? And obviously obviously it needs to be based around Miquella because we know that's the one demigod we know very little about.
Yep, absolutely. And it's the body's there.
What's the other one? What's the other one? Godfrey.
Godfrey. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. He needs a bit more because you just fight him and there's not much lore around him.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because he's like the fucking redheaded stepchild of Godfrey, isn't he?
Yeah, it makes no sense, does it? But yeah, that'd be nice. Bring it out. I'll pay for a pass if you want me to pay for a pass. Fucking hell. I trust them.
If they want to do the Dark Souls 2 model and give us like 3 chunky DLCs.
I trust them. I really do.
I also hope they stick to the thing where you have to have some random requirement to get in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I want a
like I didn't like it in Dark
flannel.
Souls.
You get a speckled flannel and you got to take the speckled flannel to somewhere else.
I didn't like it in Dark Souls 3 where it was just like another warp point that you could go to
that.
from the.
Fuck that.
Like part of the joy of going back and playing Dark Souls 2 is the little quest to find the keys to the various DLCs.
So good.
So yeah, so thank you everyone for listening to our ramblings. This was done purely so that we don't have to talk about it on the main podcast for a little while.
Yeah.
So
until
as
the
you
DLCs.
can see, we've gotten until the DLCs. As you can see, we've gotten 2 hours out of all this, and I'm sure we will talk about it on the main podcast if we go back to the game. But it's done now for a while.
If you're listening to this and you've got this far and you've never played it and you think, it sounds quite deeper than I thought, it is. It's deeper than we can discuss.
It's deeper than we know.
Yeah, I've killed every boss that they've put in. I still don't know everything. I've not got everything. I've not killed all the enemies. You know what I mean? It's so deep.
Have you started watching Varty Vidya's lore videos
Not
yet?
yet. I like to get them all in a row and have a day.
So if you watch his first lore video, which is just basically the high level lore.
Oh yeah.
The
grand scheme of things.
Yeah, he shows you a spider diagram of the lore, and it's fucking massive.
Oh, I'll watch that tonight then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one as well, and it's a good send me off to sleep one because
his voice.
Varty Vidya's got the most gorgeous voice
and face.
Fucking horrible, beautiful Australian man.
Yes, Elden Ring. So yes, absolutely 9.99 out of 10.
Yeah, if it weren't for Farah Mazula, it would have been a solid 10. Yep. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for joining us for this 2 hours of Elden Ringy bullshit. Make sure you check out the website, modernescapism.co.uk. Go check out the Patreon. Become a patron if you enjoyed this. We do a lot of spoiler specials and a lot of spoilercasts that are hidden behind the paywall. So, give us some money every month and you can get them at patreon.com/modernescapism. But for now, we shall let you go and enjoy. Go play the game. The game's amazing.
Finger butt hole.
Great chest ahead. Dog. Bye, everybody. Bye.